together. This message presented by the NCHSAA and the North Carolina Athletic Directors Association.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls Studio.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat, get your thoughts in today on the Power Rankings. It's a Power Rankings Tuesday. Last night, Week 5 in the NFL wrapped up. Man, what a punctuation to put on a week, right?
Woo!
Yeah.
Just win, baby!
Good Lord.
That gives me a tie in the Beat the Chief because the Raiders won.
That it does.
That felt really kind of predictable to me.
Yeah.
I saw nothing last night. Here are my grandiose takeaways from last night. Josh McDaniels is without a doubt the worst play caller in the NFL. How many times do you run jet sweep and it never worked? It worked on one Trey Tucker run. Outside of that, it never worked. I think he ran it 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you have Devontae Adams against his former team. Jair Alexander's not traveling with him, and you never figure out, hey, you know what we should do? We should put him in motion. Because then that feller that's real good at football won't follow him, and we can throw him the ball because everybody over there is awful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Last night was I'm putting too much faith in the Green Bay Packers. I thought that was, I thought they were at least better than the Las Vegas Raiders. And after watching the first half of that game last night, I went, I don't care. You can just end this game now. I don't care who wins.
Well, here's the thing. The bottom of the NFL is so bad that those two teams are not in the bottom 8.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, they're not in the bottom 8 because they at least have players. I at least look at Green Bay and Las Vegas. Max Crosby, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Adams, dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you said, I feel like if we were doing that top 25 thing, it'd be 3 Raiders and then 22 Packers. Yep. No, it wouldn't, because that Packers team's not as good as you think they are. And now let me walk right back into the, hey, you remember when Jordan Love got drafted and I told you he's not real good at this? Do you remember why I said that was?
Why is that?
Because he can't read a defense to save his life. He's got all the arm talent in the world. He doesn't know how to use it. The Las Vegas Raiders tricked him on the exact same coverage that the Detroit Lions got him on last week.
Mm-hmm.
And that is as good of an indicator that you're not an NFL quarterback of anything. And here's why. Because as time goes on, you start showing these things that you can't dissect. You can't digest what's happening because you make a bad read. And so all I have to do is show you one very phantom coverage that's not actually what I'm doing. And as soon as I drop out, you can't figure it out. Because Jordan Love reads a defense like most people read a newspaper. Left to right, left to right, left to right. That's not NFL quarterback play. It's not. All right, it worked in the second half against New Orleans. It has worked at times, and it will work at times. Baker Mayfield does that exact same thing. So I'm to the point, I backed off it a little bit because, he's looked okay. Maybe he learned something under Aaron Rodgers. No, he didn't. He might have learned how to run a play fake, but in terms of NFL quarterback, that you ain't, my friend.
Well, you know what? He is, my friend, and because of it, his team is very, very limited in what they can do.
I'm also just confounded at how basic on both sides. How basic your offense is, how basic your defense is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at every coach, every coordinator. Luke Haynes, one of our Green Bay Packer friends, sent me a message earlier that said, can we really start to talk about Matt LaFleur here? I think you can. Because last night was a winnable game.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't winnable it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could not figure out you're going to have to prop up this quarterback. So you can drop him back and let him just constantly throw these 50-yard bombs. Peyton Manning kept saying this last night. He's got all this arm talent. Yeah, he does, in that he has a big arm. The problem is that not one of those throws he threw deep was even coherently accurate. Christian Watson started looking like a punt returner, just looking over his shoulder going, I don't know where that ball went. That's a lot of lights.
It's, to me, last night was the grossest kind of football to watch. It's that kind of football where you start a drive and you get a first down and you get real close to a second one, or maybe you get a second one, but you never really threaten to score points, and then you forget how to call plays. Like, there was just several points in the game last night that I was watching and I was going, how do you do that? How do you have like 7 good chunk plays in a row and then all of a sudden just dry as a desert? Can't find anything.
Well, I mean, it's a mixture of, you've got 2 rather non-creative play callers. You've got 2 very limited quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Jimmy Garoppolo was going to wear his concrete shoes last night, or it might have changed who I was going to pick. Now, I'm glad I didn't know that, because I'd have been on the wrong side.
Right.
But he is now officially into that Tom Brady realm of, I'm pretty sure I could outrun you in the 40. And that's not good for you, because I'm a big man, and I'm not a particularly fast man.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I just look at both those teams. You're going absolutely nowhere.
Absolutely.
Green Bay is what I thought they were coming into the season. You should have fired that moronic defensive coordinator, Joe Barry. Don't know why you didn't, but now you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
And so now you have a mediocre defense that is really good with Jair Alexander. It's really bad everywhere else, and people figure it out. And Jimmy Garoppolo was enough last night with 208 passing yards to beat you. It was gross.
Yes. It was absolutely horrendous to watch. Like watching paint dry. And I'm glad I didn't have to watch the second half.
I do want to comment on this. Matthew Hoffman said, am I the only one who thinks the last bomb in the end zone should have been PI? You're not the only one, but I'll tell you definitively, if they had thrown a PI on that, I and probably every non-Packer fan on the planet would have broken their television. Because that is the definition of the play I hate, which is you go deep and then you underthrow it and the corner's in good shape, but the receiver plays back through him and you throw a flag there.
Yep.
Don't ever call that ever. It's the dumbest thing that officials do, and they get duped by it all the time. And I'm not gonna lie, as soon as it happened, I started looking around. Where is the flag? Because I feel like that's the most fitting way this could end.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't.
Because, I mean, sometimes that's your best offense, right? Your best offense is forcing somebody to give you the ball on the 1-yard line. And that's how it feels at times when you have a crappy quarterback.
I did have another takeaway from last night that I want to touch on.
Okay.
I'm not trying to heap on Josh McDaniels. Mm-hmm. Why is it that the further away from Bill Belichick he gets, the dumber he gets? I didn't think he was this bad in Denver, and he had Tim Tebow playing quarterback. I watched last night, and the only thing I could think about was, good God, how good was Tom Brady to have had this as his play caller and been able to win Super Bowls with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because this doesn't even look like a coherent offense. It literally looks like he's got a sheet of 75 plays on it, and he just goes, nah.
Pick one.
I don't know. Let's do number 12. It's like me ordering at a Mexican restaurant. Like, I don't know what a lot of these words mean, so I'm going to go with combination number that one.
Number 36, please.
I'll learn what it is when you bring it to me.
It's all got the same ingredients, so it's going to be just fine.
I bet it's going to have some salsa. It's going to have some rice, and I'm going to like it.
Yeah. There's nothing that he can do that will surprise me at this point.
No, it's
just terrible.
It's confounding to me.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the great curiosities for me in the history of sports lore is why is it that every Bill Belichick assistant leaves him and then all of a sudden becomes the biggest moron in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
Pat Matricia did it. Eric Mangini did it. Romeo Crennel did it. Josh McDaniels is doing it. But then they come back to New England. It's like they get smart again. It's almost like Robert Kraft is putting paint chips in their soup or something.
It's almost as it's almost as if Bill's really good at finding twos, kind of like his draft history. I mean, he's just out here finding guys that can be assistants. They try to get ahead.
He's drafted a lot of those too,
right? I mean, you got all of these guys who can't be head coaches, but they're really good assistants. I mean, it's almost like Kyle Shanahan finding quarterbacks. And
I get what you're saying, but last night the thing that was driving me so crazy with McDaniels was his offensive play call.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing the thing that you did with Bill, and now you're just awful at it. I don't get that. I don't understand how that happens. Because he had carte blanche in New England. And I'm watching last night going, this is like a kid playing Madden. I've never seen so many reverses in one game. And screen passes. My God, how many screen passes can you run in one game?
I'm guessing it was quite a lot.
I think the last I checked, they had run 12 screens.
Yeesh.
It's just, it was a big old gross fest.
Mm-hmm.
And now we really get into primetime football because this Thursday, do you know what we get? Do you know?
No.
Who's the best team in the AFC?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Who is the worst team in the AFC?
The Houston Tech. No, not the Houston Texans.
I was about to say
I'm
4 weeks
6
ago.
Weeks ago.
4 weeks ago called. They would really like a word.
Who is the worst team?
I went on a sweet tirade about them yesterday.
The Denver Broncos.
The Kansas City Chiefs at home hosting the Denver Broncos.
Woof.
Didn't
we just do this with the Bears a couple of weeks ago?
Then Sunday Night Football. But wait, there's more. The Buffalo Bills hosting the New York Football Giants. Oh, boy.
Let's go, Buffalo.
That's not good.
No.
At least on Monday Night Football, you do get Cowboys-Chargers, which I don't know what to do with that.
Well, I mean, T's and P's for the Chargers.
I don't know. You get two coaches that both do really dumb things. Like, can both teams find a way to lose in the last 5 minutes? Is that physically possible in an NFL football game? Because if it is, they'll find a way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it should be interesting. The Kellen Moore revenge game, right? He knows Dan Quinn very well.
Yeah. That's two teams that I felt way better about 6 weeks ago than I do right now.
Yeah, and I still maintain that your derision of the Dallas Cowboys may be a little overboard.
It's not derision.
After last week.
It's not derision. You're not as good as the elite teams in your conference. And you're not. I don't physically see how anybody that has watched this team for the last 3 weeks can go, oh, yeah, they're like just fractionally behind the Detroit Lions. Detroit would beat them brainless. That's fine. Everybody needs a 4. And that's what Dallas is. Maybe a 5, depending on how you feel about the Seattle Seahawks. I personally think they're better than Dallas, but that's just me.
Yep.
You know it's a bad Monday Night Football game when we can't even get through the first segment without talking about 3 other teams.
Well,
because that's what we got last night.
Well, of course. And you should have known. You should have known this was going to be the headline today. We weren't going to come out of here going, oh, my God, Jimmy Garoppolo just saved Vegas' season. No. No, that was never in the cards. To me, the only positive scenario coming out of this was maybe the Detroit Lions have somebody who's going to be within 2 games of them in their NFC North division if Green Bay had rolled in this game.
Oh, yeah, that's a takeaway, too. No, sir, they won't.
No.
The last 4 weeks of the season, Detroit will be playing just to not be rusty because that division will be over by Thanksgiving.
No doubt.
Especially with news that came out today after the bloodbath that was NFL Week 5.
Yeah, you're in the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville. We will, I guess we'll take a look at the tombstones coming up after the break because this weekend was a bloodbath injury-wise in the NFL. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Hey, if you're thinking of getting the latest iPhone, you need to stop and check out the wireless offer from Boost Infinite. For more, just pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from this station's network.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4victims.
It's time for the Fall Haul at Northern Tool and Equipment. Get your hands on tough tools at prices that are tough to ignore. Got plans? Cancel them. Trucks in the shop? Borrow someone else's. Don't like saving money? Right. So head to the Fall Haul at Northern Tool. Back up the truck for the season's biggest event and save on generators, power tools, trailers, and more. Shop in-store or at northerntool.com. We're made for this.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
There's a lot of that going around the NFL right now. Ice baths and hyperbaric chambers, and I mean, everybody's banged up, right? We're 5 weeks into the season. Everybody's taking their lumps, but some dudes ain't coming back, at least not for a while. And that is bad for some of the teams across the NFL, including the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, your season's done. Season over.
Justin Jefferson going to IR. He'll be out until at least week 10, which means that Minnesota Vikings offense.
Here's the thing, and I think I saw Adam Schefter tweet this earlier. Why in the world would he come back? Why would he come back? You haven't given him the deal yet.
Mm-hmm.
He has no clue what your plan is after Kirk Cousins. Why am I in a rush to do anything?
You don't have a plan.
Oh, I believe they do have
You
a plan.
think so? You think
I
there's a plan?
fully believe they have a plan.
Are they engaged in trade talks? Are they going to be?
Well, I don't know where. Who are you talking on? Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
I can't imagine who would give you anything for him at this point. I mean, what team in the NFL would make an immediate move at quarterback right now?
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Because it's going to take you a month to really learn the offense no matter where it is. The Jets were the one that made the most sense, and I have just made my mental peace with Cupid Boy is going to be handing the ball to Breece Hall 38 times a game, which is I'm fine with. Zach Wilson, I need you to be able to do the same job that a table does.
Mm-hmm.
Hold the football and let him take it from you. That is it.
I think actually Zach Wilson has a better record on Monday Night Football than he does, than Kirk Cousins does. So
you're not wrong. So, I mean, I don't know what you do there. Minnesota doesn't have a ton of pieces, but, I mean, you just look at where this is at. They play the Bears this week, which is 2 of the 5 worst teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Chicago. You probably lose that. Then you're going to go, I mean, light a candle for the Minnesota Vikings because you're going to get your feelings hurt against the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
At the Packers, Falcons, Saints, I don't see a winnable game again until the 2 right around Thanksgiving. And by then, you're 1-9 anyway. So what does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
But this is why you get contracts done with certain guys, and Justin Jefferson's one of them.
Yeah, whatever you want. Here you go.
Whatever you want. Just here, tell me what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a check, and you put a number in that box right there, and you tell me what feels good. And then I'll sign it, and you can go cash it. How about that? But you didn't do that. And now I'm not going to be shocked if Justin Jefferson's sitting back going, do I really want to do this? It's cold here, and I don't know what I want out of my life. Now, you wind up with no one pick. You wind up with Caleb Williams. Hey, happy again.
Yep. And that's got to be the best case scenario, right? If you're Justin Jefferson, best case scenario right now is that.
Oh, no doubt.
Because I don't want,
Drake May.
Because I don't want any.
I mentally penciled Drake May into the Minnesota Vikings about 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think you're going to be bad enough, even with this injury. I don't think you're bad enough to get the number 1 pick. Because you do still have a game at home against the Bears. And you're going to have Kirk Cousins. Because I don't think you have an alternative. Hey, putting Nick Mullins out there. That'd be, can we do that?
I mean, I feel like they'd like to. Wouldn't you like to turn the page on this? I mean, because now you have no shot. And now you have no reasons to hold on to Kirk Cousins.
Well, you don't.
I mean, unless you're going to keep trying to do this for the next 4 years.
Unless you can convince Bill Belichick, hey, you're just a quarterback away. You're not. But who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he goes, yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun. What's Darrell Bevel doing right now? Is he managing a Home Depot? A system that Kirk's familiar with?
Yeah. Yeah. Justin Jefferson going on the IR is a death knell to the Minnesota Vikings, who didn't have much of a future anyway.
This
season.
Here's the thing. Minnesota Viking fans, if you want me to make you feel better, you were awful with the best receiver in the NFL. So, I mean, you were going to go 3-14 with him. You might go 1-16 without him. And then you have hope for the future.
Mm-hmm. Also, apparently going on IR, or they're debating putting him on IR, is Anthony Richardson, quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. Which, I mean, I think we touched on this a little bit yesterday. You're kind of better off with Gardner right now anyway. So.
I'm going full conspiracy theory of, have you seen the next 3 teams they play? At the Jaguars, Browns, and Saints. That's 2 of those 3 teams can hit your quarterback a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after that 4 weeks, you go Panthers, Patriots, Buccaneers, Titans. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get him some reps against those teams. Let's not get the guy out there who's played 4 games and been knocked out 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not put him out there against Myles Garrett or Cam Jordan or any of the other hellhounds those teams have.
Right.
You tell me I'm a conspiracy theorist all you want to, but Indianapolis is currently better off with Gardner Minshew, and I am not shocked that they are erring on the side of total caution.
Mm-hmm. We also have the A-Chan. So much better to say A-Chain. Why? But anyway, Devin A-Chan.
I just don't understand why he felt the urge to tell us that was his name before he went nanners. You're telling me there's not somebody that wouldn't have come out with an A-Chain, big medallion with his face on it? Because I'm a Jet fan, and I'd have worn one.
Mm-hmm.
Because now my team is less than ideal, and so I have to really lean on fantasy football.
Yeah, Devon's on the table, though. He's hurt a knee. He's got a knee injury that they didn't think was all that bad, but it was, I guess he tweaked it during the game, still continued to play on it, and they didn't think it was that bad, and now it's become a problem of maybe there was some swelling after the game or something, and now they're getting him looked into, and there's a great chance that he's going on IR. But does that really matter all that much?
No.
He was a
Raheem,
luxury piece anyway.
No doubt. Raheem Mostert is still upright. That takes one piece away. You're going to add Jeff Wilson back in. It probably takes a little of your explosiveness away. I won't be shocked, and just remember that I said this, if Jeff Wilson comes in and is running those first-team reps and they use Raheem Mostert as that change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've already seen them do that before Devin A-Chan got here.
Right.
A-Chan. Why'd you not tell me that before the draft process? Because now I'm going to call you A-Chain for the rest of your life.
He'll change it, no doubt. Once somebody gets in his ear about the promotional abilities of the A-Chain, I feel like he'll change it back. He'll be like, okay, I was wrong.
Oh, you're right. I pronounced my own name wrong.
Absolutely. It's happened before. Joe Theismann. Leighton Vander Esch. 4 to 6 weeks absence for the Dallas Cowboys, taken away from that vaunted defense that just shuts down everybody, except for the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals, apparently.
Bobby Barnett in our YouTube comments said, I've been a Vikings fan since forever. It goes like this. They get your hopes up, then it comes crashing down. Repeat.
Yeah.
That sounds like being a Jets fan, a Bears fan. I could do this for
Bills
a minute.
fan.
Bills. Cleveland Browns, Tampa Bay Buccaneers outside of 1 year with Tom Brady and 1 year with our guy Brad Johnson. Chargers. You're not alone. You're amongst friends, Bobby.
Absolutely.
We're all friends here.
Absolutely.
We all have, some of us have drinking problems, like I, and others have found constructive ways to unleash their fury.
Yeah. Vander Esch suffering a neck strain in the loss to the 49ers, so he's going to be down at least until the Panther game, which that's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas Cowboys, Carolina Panthers. Can't y'all wait?
Whoa.
Woo!
Oh, and by the way, those tickets are like $700 a piece right now.
Good night. Well, probably because everybody's expecting they'll see a scoring record. Jets offensive lineman Elijah
AVT.
Vera Tucker. No more playing in Denver for him. Just not gonna do it.
I don't ever want to play in Denver ever again. You
lost Breece Hall last year,
yeah,
and
we proved our
AVT.
Point. And we proved our point. I don't want to play there again.
And now AVT has gone down again with an Achilles tendon tear, and he will be done for the season.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is the only person that can theoretically come back from one of those in 16 weeks.
Yeah.
He's certainly not going to be a 330-pound offensive lineman.
I was going to say, he's got a lot more weight to hold on that Achilles than Aaron Rodgers does. So, I mean, that really affects things. I mean, for your whole theory that we're still a playoff team.
No.
No?
It doesn't help. Here, look, the Jets have one good pass blocker, and that's not him.
Mm-hmm.
So Max Mitchell can run block. I'm personally hoping that Robert Saleh calls Lou Holtz this weekend and goes, how you run that triple option? Is that a thing we could do?
You want to do that? You want to run triple option with Zach?
It's the most glorious way to play football that you could possibly play. So sport the way the sport was intended.
Yeah, that's true power right there. Just
break out a Maryland eye on them. We'll never see that coming.
Throw all three running backs out there at the same time. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't care if one of them takes snaps.
You might be better off in certain scenarios.
Oh, you forgot James Conner. You're not just grief-stricken?
No, not really. I mean, I don't care about James Conner. I actually care way more about Emmanuel Mosley than I care about James Conner.
As well you should, because one of those teams is good and one of those teams is bad.
Precisely. Second straight season he's torn his ACL.
This is one of the toughest weeks for injuries I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, it was an absolute bloodbath this weekend, and so I guess, just T's and P's for all of those affected by this week's tsunami of injuries around the NFL, and hope you got a lot of depth on your team, because the way this season's going, you're going to need it. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Low pressure with small chances of tropical development moving into the northern Gulf over the next few days, and some of that moisture here as it gets into the panhandle of South Georgia and South Carolina may try to work further north, and that means here we may see some showers. Better chance of rain south later in the week. Sun clouds today, 72. Tonight, 43. Little fog early tomorrow, otherwise cloudy, 71. And that chance of rain Thursday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Boost Infinite.
Hey, if you're thinking of getting the latest iPhone, you need to stop and check out the wireless offer from Boost Infinite. For more, just pick up your phone and dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dialed text message from this station's network.
Don't miss Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning's thrilling fall sale. Call now and mention ESPN Asheville to get 3 rooms cleaned for $129 or schedule online at ZeroResAsheville.com. You can't miss the Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning fall sale.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region. Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
How powerful are new Power Scratch-Offs? More powerful than this hair metal band's signature scream.
No way, baby!
Power Scratch-Offs are packed with prizes and have power spots for more cash wins.
Show me the money! Feel the power of a win!
With Power Scratch-Offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.23 to 4.57. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Helmets and seatbelts help protect North Carolina's kids, but there's another important step we need to take to protect our kids and communities. If you own a gun, make sure it's secure. Lock it up, keep it safe. Visit ncsafe.org to learn more.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever dreams are our business. And we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside. And, well, Jeremy, I know you're not a baseball fan.
No, sir, I'm
You
not.
hadn't been a baseball fan for a long time. You used to pull for the New York Mets.
I did
back in the day.
Yeah, the Jets give me enough sadness. I don't need more.
Well, I think I found you a new team. I believe that your allegiances should shift in your newfound baseball fandom to the Texas Rangers, because we found out the secret to their success. They have won their first 4 games in the playoffs. They swept out the Tampa Bay Rays in the wild card round. And they have so far opened up with a 2-0 lead on the Baltimore Orioles in the American League Division Series. And starting pitcher Andrew Heaney was being asked what was the secret, and he said it's because of all of the bangers. They're listening to Creed before the games.
Let's go! You want to get hyped? You got a big meeting or a workout? You throw on Creed bangers? You are knocking that out the park.
They are turning up the Creed. They did it as a joke, or he did it as a joke. And then he realized that when he was playing the banger, everybody else in the locker room started singing.
Of course they did. You know why? Because Creed was the greatest band of the 1990s, and it's not even debatable.
So now Scott Stapp is fueling the Texas Rangers to try to make an appearance in the World Series. He once famously set a Dallas Cowboys game on fire with his halftime performance. I feel like they need to get him down to the big ballpark there in Arlington, and Scott Stapp needs to have a pregame concert.
Let's go. Creed reunion. We do it before the cruise. Let's go.
I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around young dudes in a locker room singing Creed bangers. That's dad rock, right?
It's not dad rock.
Nah, that's according to Spotify, apparently.
Well, Spotify give you directions where you can go. Down.
Since they started listening to the Creed songs, they have not lost a game in the playoffs. And Heaney said in his interview yesterday that when they get back to town for their continuation of the series, if they could just happen to put that out on the PA system as they're running out onto the field, then that would have them all amped up and ready to win a World Series.
Let's go. You know, there's an old saying that money doesn't buy happiness. I think Mark Davis of the Las Vegas Raiders would challenge that. I don't know who – I mean, I do know who the girl beside him in the box was last night.
Mm-hmm.
She's a guitarist that goes by the name Orianthi.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of internet sleuths tried to figure out, okay, like, how did Floby get her to even sit beside him? And then they started going down the path. It does not appear that the relationship is romantic of any way. So it does appear that Mark Davis has been friend-zoned, even though he has a bajillion dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the line. If you have a bowl cut, you can still be friend-zoned, even if you have 10 figures in your net worth. I did love that they cut to him just lambasting somebody, and they tried to figure out exactly who it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty convinced it was Josh McDaniels, but
when was this? When he was in the box, or when he
he was in the box.
Okay.
Yeah, they cut to him because they were talking about his haircut, of course, because there's nothing else to talk about with Mark Davis.
No, right.
Then, of course, they started talking about the young lady at his left that was confusing to many of us.
Mm-hmm.
And they caught him swearing profusely, which most Raider fans, I think, can sympathize with.
Absolutely. Because that team is terrible. All right, it's time to start the power rankings. Week 6 power rankings here in the Sportsocracy.
We've had a lot of people have chimed in who they think should be 32. I don't disagree with you that the New England Patriots are very bad.
Candidate, yes.
And they were definitely a candidate. But your number 32 team with a bullet, the Denver Broncos.
Let's ride. Wait a minute. They've won a game. How could they be 32?
Yeah, they beat a team that's also awful. Congratulations. The Denver Broncos are the worst team in the NFL to me. In terms of just watching it on the field. And that's how I do power rankings. If you played each other on a neutral field, who would win?
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe New England would beat the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Because they can beat teams that can't get after a quarterback. And outside of Nick Bonito, you cannot do that.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe it was a little ceremonial after, Sean Payton decided to run that yipper. Got shut up by the worst coach in NFL history. Oh, weird. Look, Denver was 31 for me last week. Chicago won.
Yep.
In impressive fashion, not just, hey, we beat a team that fell down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Denver is terrible.
They're awful.
Yeah, they are. But right now, I don't think we could have anybody else but the winless team at 32. But guess what? Number 31.
The Carolina Panthers.
This is only because there's a future with this team. Because I don't really see much of a difference between them and the Broncos as to what's actually being put on the field.
No, the difference for me, and trust me, it's razor thin. I'm not sitting here trying to justify the Carolina Panthers to you. The difference is I still look at that team and go, you're at least a team. I don't see your quarterback just throwing up a hand at the head coach. And I could see a path that they get better. I don't see a path that the Broncos get better.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. I really don't. Look, I'm not a body language expert.
Oh, you don't have to.
But I saw some of the plays this past week. Bryce Young throwing in the flats, because that's the only thing that he can do, because he has zero time to launch anything down the field and doesn't have anybody who could really get to it. That's not true. They got some speed on this team. It's just a question of if anybody could catch it if he got it down there. But he's got no time. So every play, he's either handing it off to Miles Sanders, who can gain a foot, or he's dumping it off in the flat to somebody. And there were several times where he would just throw it out to the flat and just spin around. And just I am exhausted with this. I am so tired of this offense. And I don't know. I don't think there's a trouble of brewing there, but there could be. If this continues much longer and there's no progress being made, because that's what I see. Each week I look at this team and I go, I'm not sure you're taking any steps forward. Full steps. Maybe you're taking a half a step or a baby step, but I'm not seeing anything that's going to make me feel like the rest of this season is going to go well at all.
Oh, I don't think the rest of the season is going to go well. Look, the bottom 8, I'll be really honest with you. You can jumble these broke toys up any way you want to. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's anybody from 28 to 32 could be 32, and I would not have a qualm with it.
Okay.
Because they're all just different breeds of the same dirty diaper.
Yeah. Panthers, not good. Number 30.
The New York Football Giants.
Yep.
That's how bad the NFL currently is. I'm not to New England yet, who has been beat 69-3 the last 2 weeks. Because you at least have something. What do the New York Giants do well right now? Could you name me a player that you look at and go, yes.
No.
I can't either. I cannot either. Oh, and Rob Johnson had it right. It was 72-3. Sorry,
yes.
Math is hard.
Yes. They lost by 69.
I'm looking at the Giants. I don't have anything for you.
No, there's no answers here. You have dug yourself into a hole here. You know, you were too good for your britches last year. It's great that Brian Daboll came in here and, led this team to the playoffs, and they were the spunky little upstart team, and he was coach of the year and all those things. But you honestly were too good. You shouldn't have done that. Because what you did was you forced yourself to pay Daniel Jones,
who is a train wreck.
And that is going to eat you alive until you decide that you're going to have to cut him and just pay whatever you need to get out from under it. Because nobody's giving you anything for him. You're trapped in a $45 million a year deal or whatever the heck that is. And you've got no real solution because everything you've done has blown up in your face.
I am going to try to find a positive with every team. The Denver Broncos, not applicable. The Carolina Panthers, it's almost over. The New York Giants, I do think you hit on your first-round pick. Deontay Banks, he held up against Jalen Waddle shockingly well.
Okay.
Now, you didn't have to go to Jalen Waddle because, everybody else was open. But Kayvon Thibodeau has been awful. Outside of Deontay Banks, Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Darren Waller. That's Wan'Dale Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've got a player in him, but I always did. There's your positives. The problem is that you've still got a just disaster at quarterback.
Yep. That you do. Number 29.
Now, I have to give a fait accompli. All right, this was not originally the team at 29, but with recent findings, they moved from 28 to 29. The Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, Justin Jefferson going on IR apparently for 4 weeks, and now you've got really nothing to sell me on.
Here's my question about Minnesota right now. For the next 4 weeks, if you look at your buddies and go, hey, buddy, let's go to the Minnesota Vikings game this weekend. We get to watch what? How do you finish that sentence? Is it Jordan Addison?
Yep.
It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. Because now he's going to get number 1 coverage. And I haven't been overly impressed by him in the first place. I look at this team and go, Alexander Madison, Cam Akers, Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne.
TJ Hawkins.
Oh, yeah. Everybody gets excited to watch a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I don't know how Minnesota Viking fans are going to wake up on a football Sunday morning, put on that jersey, and head out to the stadium.
Because they've been doing it since 1960. That's
and
why.
I get that.
It's the only way, right? The Minnesota Vikings aren't bringing in new fans. This is ridiculous. It's like Jet fandom. In another 40 years, all of you are going to be dead because nobody's signing up for this.
Now, I will say this. Bobby Barnett is this is something that I've wanted to break out for quite some time, and we have a lot of these. We always say we are smartmen, all right, or fatmen, or whatever other adjective that we could possibly put here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to bring out another word.
Okay.
Instead of smartman, we've got smart fun. Smart fan. Bobby Barnett, Ivan Pace, you're 100% right. Of all the things that you did in this offseason, you got Ivan Pace exactly right. I don't know how he didn't get drafted, and if I live to be 200 years old, I will never understand that. But he has been quite a find.
Yes, agreed.
The only problem is that he is a bright, shiny diamond in a field of poo.
Well, I was going to say the only problem with that is he's a linebacker. So, yay.
Well,
we got a great one.
Look, you got to
Awesome.
have those two.
Absolutely. But when it comes to making a difference on your team, yeah.
I still maintain the offensive line's reasonably good, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not elite, I don't think. But you've got young pieces there. I don't know that I've ever seen a team more equipped to draft a rookie quarterback than the Minnesota Vikings. Do I like how you've gone about it? No, not really, because you had to get super lucky to make the playoffs last year. You came in, it was pretty obvious that you weren't Philadelphia, San Francisco good. And now you've basically just got a blip year. But if you wind up with Caleb Williams or Drake May or one of those guys, it's all worth it.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Because you have an elite number one receiver. I think Addison can be a decent enough too.
Screw you, Minnesota.
He needs to be in the slot. But
this was my plan, okay? This is what my team was supposed to do. You're supposed to suck to get the quarterback. Now, Minnesota's going to do it. We're not. We stuck with Baker freaking Mayfield.
Yeah! Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
Number 28.
This is where you get the team that many of you in the chat have been waiting for. The New England Patriots. You know, and I try to be a good man. I really do. But it does my little Jet fan heart a whole mess of good that I'm probably higher on you right now than anybody is. Because I'm probably the only one that will do a power ranking that you're not in the bottom 4 of. And it's not because you're good. You're awful. They're just awfuler than you are. I don't know what to do with New England. That offense is horrifically bad.
I was going to say, you don't know what to physically do?
Oh, no,
I
no,
mean,
exactly
we all
what to
know
do.
what to do.
Yeah, you walk into Bill's office and go, hey, you know what a farewell tour is? Because you're about to have one.
Right.
Yes, you are. We'll bring you little toys and things from every city we go to and tell you, bye, coach. It's fun while it lasted, but it's over now.
Yep.
Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Go ahead. Grow the cojones. Let's see it, Robert. Do you have them? Do you have the stones to kick in that door and go, yeah, this is Gerard's team in, 14 games?
100%. It should be.
And we're done.
And you should do that.
Absolutely.
You should do that, but the question is, will you do that?
No.
I don't agree with you.
No,
you
I
can't
still
get
don't
beat
think
like
so.
this. All right, you can't be a stalwart franchise like this and start getting beat like this. You're getting beat like the Jets do. You're getting beat like the Bears do. That's not what you do, and guys like Robert Kraft is not going to he's not going to deal with this. He's just not. We have our first one of these of the day.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm your Huckleberry.
That one was not my fault.
No, that was my fault.
Soaring Eagle said, this is going back to the Broncos. There's also the message that he sent to me on Twitter on what exactly needs to be done. And basically that message was something to the effect of fire all of them. Every single one of them. I maintain Denver is an easier solution than that, but I don't know that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's bench Russell Wilson and make the statement. After this here program, there will be some content coming out on all the socials that says exactly that.
All right, that's your bottom 5 Week 6 NFL power rankings here in the Sportsocracy. Jeremy's got bangers for tonight. Yeah, there's bangers. There's Tuesday
100%.
night football.
It's a Coosa Tuesday. Let's go.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Cullowhee is the place to be on Saturday, October 21st, as WCU football takes on Furman for Heroes Day. First responders and those who have served or currently serve in the military will receive free admission. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. at Whitmire Stadium on the beautiful campus of Western Carolina University. For tickets, visit catamountsports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Go Cats!
It's the season of back to school, back to work, and back to all the wonderful fun, flavors, and friendships that make fall one of the best times of the year. For us at Ingalls, it's the season of festivals, fairs, and favorite dishes. And from football kickoffs to baseball playoffs, from farm fields to soccer fields, we'll be there to help this fall be the best season of the year. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Coffee's the closer's on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's a Coosa Tuesday. Conference USA football. Okay, these are actually not bad games. May not be the most fun to watch, but you can make some money, and it's not as bad as Maction coming next month. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Louisiana Tech's a 3-point dog at Middle Tennessee. I'm just going to keep picking against the Blue Raiders until they actually prove me wrong. That's a 1-5 team that's been a favorite 4 times. I am 4-0 picking against them. Louisiana Tech, take them in the money line plus 130. Liberty's a 6.5-point favorite on the road at Jacksonville State. You remember that thing I just said about Middle Tennessee? I'm doing the same thing in reverse with Jacksonville State. The Fighting Rich Rodriguez's are pretty good. I don't know that they win this game, but I feel like Liberty is a little overrated because all they do is run. Take the under 58.5. These are 2 run-heavy teams. I'm taking Jacksonville State plus the 6.5. And if you feel crazy, take them plus 215 in the money line because they might just win. And finally, Coastal Carolina at Appalachian State, 2 traditionally good mid-major programs that have fallen on slightly harder times. Tim Beck is a bad head coach, and it is abundantly obvious to me. This game's at App State. I'm taking them minus the 5.5. They'll win outright. This game will never be particularly all that close. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingalls. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Low pressure with small chances of tropical development moving into the northern Gulf over the next few days, and some of that moisture here as it gets into the panhandle of South Georgia and South Carolina may try to work further north, and that means here we may see some showers. Better chance of rain south later in the week. Sun clouds today, 72. Tonight, 43. Little fog early tomorrow, otherwise cloudy, 71. And that chance of rain Thursday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
It all starts in Asheville with the Asheville Championship at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville on November 10th and 12th. It's the early season men's college basketball event featuring the men's teams from Clemson University, Maryland University, Davidson University, and University of Alabama, Birmingham. The Asheville Championship is an incredible way to bring quality college basketball to the fans of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Tickets are on sale now at AshevilleChampionship.com. Save your spot and cheer on your team today.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. This is amazing stuff. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It's a Power Rankings Tuesday. It's the best kind of a Tuesday.
Unless we've already said your team.
Well, I mean,
in which case it's not a good
yeah, team. I mean, but if we've already said your team, I feel like you should know where you're at. Bottom 5 in the NFL. It's not hard to decipher who those teams are. Because actually we have a couple of other contenders that could be in the bottom 5 that aren't.
Yes, like the next team on the list.
Number 27.
The Chicago Bears.
Yeah, they're bad at football too.
Hey, awesome. You won a game. Did you mean to? You DJ Moored particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's the thing that you should be very excited about, is that you absolutely fleeced the Carolina Panthers. And you're going to have the number 1 pick in the draft, most likely, and you're going to be able to either hijack somebody for Caleb Williams or just take him yourself. Now, here's the thing that I have been battling with Chicago Bears fans about this for 5 days now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in Justin Fields enough right now to bypass Caleb Williams?
No.
No. Good Lord, no. And if you do, then I don't need to talk to you anymore.
I don't believe in him enough to pass on Tanner Mordecai.
100%. There you go. Yeah. Here's the thing. If you're still looking at this going, well, Justin Fields could be blank. Okay. This conversation is going to end because your mom's going to have your Hot Pocket ready here in just like 2 minutes, and then you're just going to ghost me.
We already did this last year, remember? We did this a year ago where we went, is he good enough? Should we hang on? Oh, shoot. No, he's not good enough.
Here's what you can do. You can manufacture the touches to DJ Moore. You can really show off that he can run. He's always been able to run. That's not new. You can show that off enough that you can recoup a little bit of value in the offseason. A little bit. It's not going to be much. Some kind of conditional draft pick from probably the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, before anybody asks, no, I don't buy into Desmond Ridder just because he had one good game.
I mean, was it good, though? I mean, he threw for over 300 yards, but other than that, I mean, was it good?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Chicago's not a good NFL football team. They're not. I don't feel like that's even a spicy take. It's just, it is what it is. You're right now the best of the god-awful. And this week, you get a game with the Minnesota Vikings that tens and tens of people will really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And those people are sadomasochists that don't appreciate their eyes.
Number 26.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, they're not good at football either.
No, but they're doing exactly it. The positive for Arizona, you're doing this tank thing perfectly because you're finding guys that are going to be part of the rebuild. You're finding Jonathan Gannon guys, and a year from now, you're going to know what you really need. I really believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got drugged down the sidewalk by the Cincinnati Bengals. That was not really your fault. All right, you walked into a buzzsaw of Joe Burrow he really wanted to show that he was not as hurt as we thought. Jamar Chase, that really showed your biggest deficiency. You need any corner. I don't care who it is. I don't really believe in Kool-Aid McKinstry that much, but you need to do that or something because that secondary is just flat out horrific.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're going to tell me I'm crazy. I know you are. Stick with Josh Dobbs.
For what?
Stick with Josh Dobbs.
Till when?
I want to say the entire year. I don't see the point in bringing back Kyler Murray.
To me, the only point to bring back Kyler Murray would be to get ready for next season, right?
I got a whole offseason to get ready for next year. There is no upside to bringing him back. Josh Dobbs is effectively running this offense. You're getting a really good look at Michael Wilson, even though he didn't really do anything this past week. Hollywood Brown, Rondale Moore, James Conner had been productive. You're seeing all the things you need to see with Josh Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
Do not bring Kyler Murray back. Because it's only going to go one of two ways. All right, let's say you win a couple games. What did that actually prove? What did that do? Not a thing.
Hurt our draft stock. That's about the only thing.
That's it. Josh Dobbs is doing a perfect job. He is now the definition of the perfect tanking quarterback because he is giving it his absolute all. The only problem is that his all is not really good enough to win you games. It's good enough to keep you competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want. I don't want to instill a culture of we get beat by 40 points a week. But if we're competitive and go 3-14, I can build on that. Jacksonville did that a handful of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely cratered out. Then they hired Urban Meyer, which was, we'll call that a blip here. Then you brought in Doug Peterson, and you found pieces. There are guys that they found in the Urban Meyer year and the year before that are still pieces on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Arizona needs to be looking at. But bringing back Kyler Murray is a zero upside, zero net gain principle.
Okay. Let Josh Dobbs play it out. Don't bring Kyler back and just deal with the team chemistry in the offseason.
I mean, Kyler's going to be a headache anyway. I know he's been the good little soldier through all this, and he hasn't made any waves. But I don't believe that.
But
he's been a malcontent his entire career. I don't believe he's loving this.
Is there any path to getting rid of him is the question.
Not really. Not really. But if somehow you lucked into the number one pick, then you have a king's ransom to continue the rebuild.
Yep.
There is no positive to picking 7th in the NFL draft.
Yeah. The problem is they're going to be picking 6th and 7th.
I don't know.
And
that
I mean, are they in the hunt with their own pick and Houston's pick? Are they in the hunt for number one?
I mean, there's a lot of you in the hunt.
Because I don't know. Because I don't know if they are. Because
I mean, you're 1-4, so you're one game out of it.
Well, I mean, I get that. But you look at these other teams and go, they're probably better than Denver. They're probably better than Carolina.
I don't care who you're better than. I don't care. Every team in the bottom end of this of these standings is going to lose. Is going to win a game that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
You do this every single year when we go through projecting the win-loss totals, and you have 5 teams that lose 15 games. It never happens that way. The team that gets the number one pick is probably going to go either 2-15 or 3-14.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, if Arizona keeps losing, they're very much in contention for it. Houston is not, because they're going to win far too many games.
Mm-hmm.
But you already have that pick that I think is going to fall somewhere between 8 and probably 12. It's not going to be as good as I thought, but this is the Jeremy Green method of tanking. There is no benefit to winning these games. None. I can give you an example from almost every year that I've been evaluating the NFL draft of a team that won, the New York Jets against the Los Angeles Rams. It is the greatest example in the history of time.
Mm-hmm.
It cost you Trevor Lawrence. You wound up with Zach Wilson, and now 4 years later, you're recovering from one win that made you feel good for about 15 minutes. Don't do it. Arizona's doing this perfectly. You want to be 1-16 and have lost 12 one-score games. That is perfection.
Number 25, the Week 6 Power Rankings.
This one's probably going to seem a little low. The Green Bay Packers.
How could it possibly be low? You just lost to the Raiders, of all teams.
They were the hardest team to slot, because do I think they're the 8th worst team in the NFL? I didn't. I didn't until I went through this and went, you're the last team that I have absolutely no hope for. And I can't figure out how you're going to have any hope, because you're looking up at a Detroit Lions team that is just exponentially better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be better than you for a really long time. And you look at Minnesota, they're going to pick higher than you. Chicago's going to pick higher than you. Oh, what is the hope in Green Bay? You're the definition of a team stuck in neutral. And you know me. That's the one thing I hate to be. That's New England Patriot football.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. You're going to go 7-10. Awesome. You're not going to have the ability to pick that player that can actually change the course of your franchise. And you're going to keep Jordan Loving for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
After last night, do you feel good about that?
No, I do not feel good about that at all. You got him for another year, and that's the end of it. Right? They gave him an extension for next year?
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Yes.
They've already signed up for the extension for next year, and after that, that's the prove-it year. And I think if it keeps going poorly this year, there's even a path for them to say, you know what, we're okay.
You know, we saw everything we needed to see.
Depending on how high they pick in the draft. I mean, if they end up here, if they end up picking like 8th, I mean, you're going to get a hell of an offensive tackle out of the deal, right?
Yes.
You got no more Bakhtiari. I really don't expect him to come back.
Oh, he's had a billion surgeries on that knee.
Right. I think this is the 5th surgery on the same knee, and he's 34?
30. He's younger than I thought he was.
33? But he's he's a veteran. He's a seasoned veteran that's had 5 knee surgeries. You need to have another offensive lineman. So, I mean, that can at least fill a role. But no, that's not a long-term solution. You hoped it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think 5 weeks into the season, you know what this is. He's a decent backup.
And that's really where I'm at. But I look around Green Bay and go, hey, what do you have to be encouraged by? You've got a lot of young targets. The only problem is that you don't have a quarterback that can get them the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, if I heard Peyton Manning say one more time, take a deep shot, to have a big old head, I would think you'd have a big old brain in there. And you just really don't seem to be using it at the moment. Take another deep shot. Why? So we can miss another guy by 35 yards?
I mean, you try enough of them, you're going to hit one.
Are you just trying to see how many times Christian Watson can run 50 yards downfield and then jog back shaking his head?
Well, I mean, how many times do we see, Russell Westbrook taking threes? He's going to hit one eventually.
But, yeah, he's not going to mean to. And that Green Bay team is not good. Jordan Love is every bit the prospect I thought he was when he came out of the draft. He has not learned squat behind Aaron Rodgers. He still does really bad things with his head. He makes really bad decisions, and it's really easy to dupe him with even just a modicum of pre-snap adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
You show something that you don't actually do, he cannot figure it out. Always very telling when the exact same defensive play gets you 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm. Number 24.
I want this team to be better, but I can't have you higher after you just got drugged down the sidewalk by the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
The Washington Commanders.
Yep. This team is not very good. They're not well led.
They're not well coached.
Exactly.
They have a lot of talent, but they are not well coached. The game plan last week against the Bears was infuriating. And I just look around at the talent you have. Sam Howell is probably going to break the sack record. It might do it by a number that may never be touched. But the positive is I think you have your quarterback. I don't think Sam Howell has done anything to make anybody that understands this game not say he can be a franchise quarterback in this league. Am I telling you he's going to be Pat Mahomes? No. He's not going to be Jordan Love either.
Well, the problem is if you can't figure out a way to protect him better, then he's not going to be worth it.
Well, and that's the bad thing is that I look at Washington and go, you don't have any of these solutions these other teams do. Because you have 3 tight ends on your roster, and none of the 3 of them could block my wife. So you got 2 running backs that don't block particularly well.
Yep.
So it's not even like, hey, we can start running 12 personnel and leave a tight end in and leave a running back in to chip. None of them can block. So you're going to have to get that ball out of his hand quicker. That takes away some of the impact of Terry McLaurin. I don't envy Eric Bieniemy having to figure out how to fix this because it seems like you've got a lot of toys, but they don't really fit together without a significant upgrade to that offensive line.
Why can nobody make the defense work? That's the question I want.
Well, because you keep asking Jack Del Rio to do it. Well, that's like looking at your buddy Otis that goes and crams down 14 tequilas at lunchtime and goes, why does my driver keep running my cars off the side of a cliff? Oh, because you keep giving the same drunkard the keys and expecting him to do something different. Jack Del Rio is awful. I am 100% sure he has blackmail on Ron Rivera. That is how he has kept this job for so long. Because it'll look good for a week. And then it's almost like he carries over the exact same defensive game plan to the next week. And whoever they play the following week has to make no adjustment whatsoever. We watched the tape from – that's what you're doing. Okay. It's not hard to figure out that you're playing really soft on one side. You've got Emmanuel Forbes playing way too far up because you have way too much faith in him. And it's just easy to pick apart.
Yep.
Every problem I have with Washington stems from the coaching staff. All of it. And it's offense, defense, special teams.
Not a well-coached team, and that's why they're not going to win very many games. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Week 6 power rankings continue after this.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's Autumn Call. Buy a Ram during Ram Power Days and forget fuel costs for a year. Fall into savings like never before. See fuelyourram.com now. That's fuelyourram.com.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate Razor. While others need a Gillette Anti-Chafe Stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
The last thing you need on the way to the game is a flat tire. Ensure that you'll make the game on time with new tires from Black Mountain Tire Connection. With 22 years of experience serving the East Asheville area, Black Mountain Tire Connection offers all major tire brands. Black Mountain Tire Connection keeps you running with tire and auto service, including alignments, brakes, state inspections, oil changes, and minor repairs. Schedule service now at blackmountaintire.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Sportsocracy.
That's horrible. No, you know what that is? That's horror awful. That's horrible and awful mixed together. Horror awful.
Back in this Sportsocracy inside the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. Power Rankings Tuesday. Looking forward to Week 6 in the NFL. And we're up to number 23.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
You hate this team
I do.
so much.
Because they're terrible.
Did
you
terrible.
watch that game last night? Everything they do
the New England
outside
Patriots
of
are terrible. And guess what? Hey, you want another Week 6 banger? Raiders-Patriots.
Everything this team does outside of Max Crosby irritates me to no end.
Well, the offense is just terribly called.
Mm-hmm.
Josh McDaniels in one night, and I'm not going to lie, if there's any team that I hadn't watched as much as the others, it was probably the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had just played so many games that didn't matter in the bigger scale of things. In one half of football, I found myself screaming at a team that I don't even care about. Because it is infuriating to me how easy it should be to get touches for Devontae Adams because he, like Jamar Chase, is just always open. Jacoby Myers is a dog. I really like Michael Mayer. He doesn't play enough for me. And yet, all you want to do is try to do all this gimmicky crap.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to run a throwback pass last night with Josh Jacobs. And nobody should be happier that Josh Jacobs has really good field awareness than Jimmy Garoppolo. Because we were going to see him get killed on national television. There was a safety that figured out exactly what they were doing. Jacobs looked to throw it back and went, no, I don't want to see you die in front of me because you would. Because he got a 30-yard head start running at you, and he will saw you in half, like Dewey Cox's little brother.
Like I said, this team Max Crosby's pretty well.
I don't think the defense is as horrible as you do.
I mean,
I don't think they're as horrible as you do.
They're just not. There's just nothing on there that sends me.
I'm not telling you they're the
I'm
Chiefs. You just keep comparing them to the dregs. They're not the dregs, especially not talent-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Roster for roster, every team behind them outside of Washington, who is probably the only team that is coached as poorly as they are, they drag the other 8 teams behind them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you've got a coach that's terrible. He's just terrible. There's no other nice way for me to say it. And it was on full display last night.
Absolutely. Jimmy Garoppolo is...
He's also very bad.
He's not
Somebody
good.
should fit him for some of those magic legs because those cement shoes he wears, those are really not good for mobility.
Right. Las Vegas Raiders, number 23, with a bullet. Number 22.
The Tennessee Titans.
All right.
Now we're getting into
Titans.
Now we're doing stuff.
Are we?
Now we're doing stuff.
Are we? Is this a
Titans,
team that you even kind of believe in a little bit?
Not even a little bit.
Okay.
But there's reasons to like you because you're coached quite well, which is not something I can say about practically anybody behind you.
Mm-hmm.
They stay competitive at just a gross talent disadvantage. Can you name 5 good players on that Tennessee roster? I mean, I'm talking like not necessarily Pro Bowl level, but you're a really good starter in this league. I'll give you a hint.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons is one.
Harold Landry.
Who you like just infinitely better than I do. Among 114 qualified edges, he's 101 through 5 games.
Who, Harold?
Yes.
He
has
coming
been
back from
terrible.
an injury.
He's been
still good.
Terrible. He's not good. He's not good. That's another one of those. That's your who is that receiver that you liked so much? It'll come to me in a minute.
DPJ?
There it is. Donovan Peoples-Jones. Harold Landry is your defensive Donovan Peoples-Jones. You tell me quite often how good he is. I don't see it very often.
Uh-huh. Oh, you saw it 2 years ago. He missed last year because he was hurt. Now he's still coming back. So you'll see it.
There are people that were married 2 years ago that can't be in the same room with each other without trying to strangle each other.
No doubt.
I don't care what you did 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
What you done for me lately there, friend? And it's very little.
And it's very little.
Just you don't have the weapons, but somehow Ryan Tannehill's been reasonably efficient. Tajay Spears, I don't know what to do with that backfield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tajay Spears is the thing you should be looking at going, huh? That's not bad.
Problem is,
Well, problem is he's a running back, which
right
doesn't give
that's
me.
going to be over in 10 seconds. I don't have any faith that that's going to continue.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the heir apparent to Derrick Henry. There's no doubt about that.
Sure, and that's wonderful. But I can't get behind any team that your best wide receiver weapon is Nick Westbrook-Akina. No, DeAndre Hopkins was good this past week.
I was about to say that's a really weird way of saying DeAndre Hopkins.
You got to give the old man his flowers. He had a good week. But those weeks are going to be few and far between, and there's not going to be a whole lot of wins for this team. So, that's why they come at number 22. Number 21.
Jets, Jets.
The New York Football Jets. Go ahead. Tell us how you're going to make the playoffs.
I didn't say they were going to make the playoffs.
Tell us how you're just going to shut everybody down and run the football.
I don't know how you stop them. I really don't.
Running the football? I agree.
I went back and watched the tape. There were times Denver had 8 guys in the box. It didn't matter. And I know that defense got good. Buffalo's is pretty good. They did the same thing with them. So I see a path. Okay. Name's on the door. So we got a minute here because we're one team ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Zach Wilson and where he's at right now. And this is exactly what you should have been doing the whole time. They've dumbed this offense down to the most brass tacks. There is no third read. The third read is fall down or run away. And he can do that. There were a lot of Jet fans that were really upset. Oh, Zach almost cost us this game. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He made timely throws. He did what most young quarterbacks you would want them to do. Now, does it bother you that he's in his third year doing that? Absolutely. I'm not telling you he's a solution forever. I'm just saying that I see a path that you win more games than you should with him under center. And I saw exactly how you're going to do it this past week. Your boy Patrick Surtain, Garrett Wilson ate him alive.
Mm-hmm.
-1 play that was a very obvious pass interference that led to an interception.
You went all PI guy, didn't you?
Because it was pass interference. When the guy basically admits, hey, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they throw flags, sometimes they didn't.
He took it away from him.
But with Breece Hall and that defense, the thing that's the most encouraging to me, and I touched on this a little bit yesterday, is that when you go in at the half, the defense didn't look good in the first half against Denver. Russell was running. It really bothers me how much running quarterbacks bother them. They went in at the half. Okay. You want to keep doing that? Because you can't do anything else. So you're going to keep doing that? All right, we'll play nothing but zone. What are you going to do now? And for 24 minutes of an NFL football game, they had 1 yard.
Yep.
That's good enough to keep you in games that you probably shouldn't be in.
Yeah.
Because it's still a really talented defense.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to run the ball 40 times a week. Your little Rex Ryan thing about Dalvin Cook becoming the second piece of that, he's going to have to.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have to, or Breece Hall's going to be in a grave by the end of this.
Yep.
Because he is the only weapon you can consistently get the ball to.
Or this team is going to be, it's already one of the biggest disappointments of the season that we didn't get to see Aaron Rodgers, right? You don't embrace the run, then you're going to be an even bigger disappointment because that's your path to winning some games and making some noise.
Well, and one of the reasons that I put the Jets in right here is because you're in a tier of teams that I feel pretty similar about for completely different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
This week against Philadelphia, I think, tells you a lot about the Jets. Because Philadelphia's biggest weakness is their secondary. Because Darius Slay hasn't played well.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jobe is a liability. And so they're going to try to make Zach Wilson beat you. They're going to stack the box with a front that is way more formidable than Denver.
Yep.
If you can still keep the offense on pace in the running game, you're not beating Philadelphia. But if you can stay away from just the god-awful 3rd and 12s, 2nd and 9s, and stay at least on pace, that gives me a little more hope that you can win 7, 8, 9 games.
Yep. I don't know if you can hold up to that defensive front.
I don't know.
Have, and that's what terrifies me for that game with you guys.
I genuinely don't know. I'm looking at it. When I went back and watched the tape, I'm not sure that it would have mattered what defense that was going up against, because you had schematic things that were happening that are really high-level running game things. The thing I couldn't figure out is why did it take you 4 weeks to figure that out?
Yep.
We had a snap count on Breece Hall. Well, he didn't know that, and neither did any of the rest of us. So that seems like a pretty convenient excuse. But maybe you learned something.
Yep.
Who knows?
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, number 21. The New York Jets will get inside the top 20 when we come back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Low pressure with small chances of tropical development moving into the northern Gulf over the next few days, and some of that moisture here as it gets into the panhandle of South Georgia and South Carolina may try to work further north, and that means here we may see some showers. Better chance of rain south later in the week. Sun clouds today, 72. Tonight, 43. Little fog early tomorrow, otherwise cloudy, 71. And that chance of rain Thursday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Marion Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram's Autumn Call. Buy a Ram during Ram Power Days and forget fuel costs for a year. Fall into savings like never before. See fuelyourram.com now. That's fuelyourram.com.
Now, you can relive the greatest moments from our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Lenny Kravitz kicks things off with his biggest hits.
Foo Fighters get the whole crowd singing along.
Tim McGraw debuts his new song live.
Public Enemy brings the 90s hip-hop energy.
Fall Out Boy covers a classic while literally on fire. And so much more.
Relive the greatest moments from our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming now only on Hulu for a limited time.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Cullowhee is the place to be on Saturday, October 21st, as WCU football takes on Furman for Heroes Day. First responders and those who have served or currently serve in the military will receive free admission. Advanced ticket sales start at just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Kickoff is at 2:30 p.m. at Whitmire Stadium on the beautiful campus of Western Carolina University. For tickets, visit catamountsports.com or call 800-34-GO-WCU. Go Cats!
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now.
Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 65-year-old Michael Arnold is in trouble with the law. He has a fixation on this one woman that he can't help himself. He has to go out of his way to be around this woman all the time. And that, my friends,
is crimes.
That's right. They call that stalking. When you don't really know someone, but you have to be around them all the time or have to be a part of their life in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and they keep complaining, hey, can you keep this guy away from me? And then you keep doing it. That's crimes. He's 65 years old, but it's the way that he's been stalking this woman that really is weird. It's complete first world rich people problems. He's been flying his single engine plane over her house for the last 4 years, to the point where he's been doing it routinely and flying so close to the house that at times they thought he was going to fly through the house. 3 times a week for the last 4 years, they say that this man has been waking up the family at 7 a.m., buzzing their house with his airplane. One time, apparently, he got so frustrated, and it doesn't ever say what these people did to him or what, but at one point he was flying by their house and pelting it with tomatoes from the air.
It's a bold strategy,
right? What was the husband of this couple a part of Creed, and you just really hate horrible music?
Nobody hates Creed. Everybody loves it.
That's what a lie sounds like.
You won't
right
admit
there.
it out loud, but that banger comes on the radio. Guess what you're doing? You're singing along. Might be in your head.
Well,
you're doing it.
He got in trouble for this once before, and they took his pilot's license away from him, and they made him put his plane in the hangar out at the Bennington Airport in Connecticut, and then they finally, I guess, the statute of limitations or whatever was up on his protective order. What did he do? He got right back in the plane and went right back out to their house. And so the FBI came calling. They're like, hey, you did it again. And he goes, nope, wasn't me. I wasn't flying. Okay, well, who was flying your plane? Because that was clearly your plane, and we've got the little map here that says your plane was at her house. I can't tell you who that was. I can't tell you who was flying that. I don't want to throw them under the bus, get them involved.
It was the government.
No, of course it was him. He also got arrested again after he drove by her house. Just lock him up, right?
Stop being weird.
65 years old, he just can't stay away from this one woman. Just lock him up.
I'm back, baby! It could be back.
Who?
It could be back.
What?
Jerry Seinfeld in a video that was posted by NBC Boston, has said that those of you that were angry about the ending of Seinfeld, they're working on something. Won't tell you exactly what it is. Here's the quote. It was posted by Boston Globe Media CEO Linda Henry from NBC Boston. I have a little secret for you about the ending, but I can't really tell it because it's a secret. Here's what I'll tell you, but you can't tell anybody. Something is going to happen that has to do with that ending. Hasn't happened yet, and just what you are thinking about, Larry, talking about Larry David, and I have also been thinking about, so you'll see.
Ah.
I don't know if that means it could, I mean, you can't reboot it.
No.
They're all 70 years old, so I don't really think that that's going to be the path. Yeah. But I could see like a one-off just changing the ending. A lot of people really hated that.
And no, do the Seinfeld movie. And it's something really crappy, like they all got out of prison and smuggled themselves across the border. Because wasn't it like Mexico where they got
No, they were in
prison?
Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing.
Or Delaware or one of those. Rhode Island.
The end of Seinfeld was the best thing that ever happened to me because I no longer had to hear people talk about it.
Yeah. I hate the things you say, how you say them, and your face when you say them. Seinfeld was awesome.
Yeah.
Seinfeld was awesome. Oh, it's one of the great shows of all time.
Yeah.
Although it would be ironic if they did a Seinfeld movie and they all got out of jail and worked in the Biden administration. That seems to be maybe they met Hunter in county lockup. Oh, you say your dad's the president, do you? Get this idea about a country about nothing. That was good. That was good. That was a 1997 reference. I was 10 years old.
There you go. All right. So apparently Seinfeld is coming back in some shape, form, or fashion.
Patrick R. agrees with me that Seinfeld was awesome. He does not agree with me about Creed. You win some, you lose some.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is a Power Rankings Tuesday. Week 6 in the NFL starts Thursday night.
With an absolute
banger.
Apparently how Patrick R. feels about Creed. That's how I feel about the Thursday night game.
Yeah. Not the greatest of matchups for Thursday night football, but we don't really care because it's the NFL and we'll watch anything. At number 20 this week,
the Indianapolis Colts.
All right. Anthony Richardson looks like he may go on IR.
And he should. He should. This is a murderer's row schedule you've got coming up. Protect him. Ride with the mustached one, mullet boy himself, sleeping on a garbage can mattress. I don't think this team is bad. The offense is proof positive of how much a coach actually matters.
Absolutely.
Because Shane Steichen is doing a great deal with a whole mess of retreads.
They could not run last year.
With Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
And now they can run with virtually the same line and Zach Moss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you wonder why we talk about coaching interviews for 3 weeks during the playoffs, that's why.
Yeah. Because the same guy can, a different guy can come in here with the same weapons, even lesser weapons in Zach Moss's case. I mean, no offense to him, but everybody knows Zach Moss is not as good as Jonathan Taylor,
Correct.
or as talented as Jonathan Taylor.
But you're going to have a two-headed monster among your running backs that I would put up against any in the league. And when you have that and a weapon like Michael Pittman, who is a very good receiver in this league, Josh Downs has been a hit, I believe, from North Carolina that they got in the third round. I have reason to be optimistic.
Mm-hmm. Optimistic that this team can't be absolutely terrible. But they're not by any means a contender, do you think?
It depends on what you're asking me if they're a contender.
Are they a contender to the Jaguars?
Depends on which Jaguars team we see. The one that just played in London? No. The one that got obliterated by the Houston Texans? Absolutely. That's the thing about Jacksonville. I don't know exactly which one of these two you are. You're bipolar, and it's driving me crazy. But yeah, if the Jaguars come back and don't look like that London team, then yeah, you've got two teams in this division that I think can contend with them.
Okay. All right. Number 19.
Oh, wrong button. The Houston Texans.
See, now this is the one. This is the team from that division that I'll go, they're not great, but they're good. I think they're good. I think they're well coached.
I really wanted to have the Colts ahead of the Texans, but on sheer results, I can't.
I think there's a little fire in the belly of that team.
I'm going to say something, and you're going to say I'm a hater, and I'm not coming off of my college evaluation.
Okay.
I think as time goes on, there's going to be tape on C.J. Stroud, and he's not going to look as impressive as he does right now.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's going to crash off into the ocean, but I noticed against the Falcons, it didn't lead to turnovers, but it led to ineffectiveness. I'm not going to say he's padding stats because he's not. He's been really, really good, and right now he is far and away the rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I started seeing things against Atlanta where I went, yep, that's the C.J. Stroud that I thought we were getting. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh, God, there's the
fatal flaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's regressed back to that point. It wasn't that. It was almost like I was watching the safeties and at one point the linebackers. It was like they knew exactly what he was getting ready to do. And they were baiting him into it. He didn't fall for the trap, but he also couldn't push the ball down the field, which is what he's been doing. So I will be interested to watch the next month of the Houston Texans to see, are they the team that we saw the first 4 weeks of the season that confused all of us? Or are they closer to the team we thought they were going to be? I don't think they're a bottom 8 team in the league, period. We were way too high on that. But I'm not sure they're as good as people think they are right now. I could be wrong. I could be picking nits here because I watched way more of that game than I should have. Because I had a piece from Houston and a piece from Atlanta in DraftKings.
I don't watch a whole lot of Texans football. What's with Damian Pierce? He's not. The stats aren't there for him this year.
He's just not been.
Are they not putting? I mean, does he have to be a bigger piece of this offense, in your opinion?
Does he need to be? Yes. Is he going to be? I don't know. He just doesn't appear to have that same burst that he had, and I don't really know why that is. I mean, the kid's averaging less than 3 yards a carry. So, I mean, it hasn't been, they're not giving him opportunities. It's been he's not been doing anything with it. But neither is anybody else. This is not a Pittsburgh Steelers thing where Najee Harris is averaging 3.2 yards a carry and Jalen Warren's averaged 6. Devin Singletary's been every bit as bad. So it could just be that the line's not blocking particularly well for the run. They've protected C.J. Stroud pretty well. But I don't know that there's a fix to that.
Okay.
At least not in the next 10 weeks.
Right.
That may be you have to fix it from the roster up.
Number 18.
The Los Angeles Rams. I don't know. There's no team in the NFL that I know less of what to do with than the Rams.
Okay.
Their fans love telling me how good they are.
And
I see some of it. Puka Nacua, dog.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp,
Yep.
dog.
Yep. Matthew Stafford,
dog.
Yep.
But then what? Like you get to Aaron Donald, but then what? There are players that are better than I thought they were, but I'm still not seeing you've developed blank. There are players, but they're all young. And you see mental lapses. I saw several of them against the Eagles that led to several big Jalen Hurts runs. And I just think that's how the season's going to go. Now, do you have reason to be encouraged? Absolutely, because you got about 10 players that may end up being real players in this league. Young, the young defensive tackle, a couple guys on the offensive line. Kyron Williams, I think, is good. You just got to give him the ball. So there are things to be encouraged about. I just don't know exactly how good you actually are. You contend with everybody. But I saw you just beat the sin out of Seattle. but I'm not sure you're not closer to Arizona than you are to, say, San Francisco and Seattle.
Yeah, but when you have that kind of talent, you have a quarterback like Matthew Stafford, you can do that, right? You can win games that you're not supposed to win because you can outscore that team. I mean,
you want me to tell you the thing that if you're a Rams fan, you should be really encouraged by? You had virtually no draft capital. You added enough players to make this team competitive. What do you think you'll do with an actual complement of draft picks?
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're doing from the scouting side is working. You just got to have the picks to do it. And you didn't, because you did that Les Snead falafel them picks thing for way too many years.
Right.
And it came back to bite you.
Right.
So now you get into these games where, yes, you've hit on a 7th-round pick, but that 7th-round pick is a 7th-round pick. That you're lining up against a blue chipper. Well, he's more talented.
Mm-hmm.
He might have the heart and all those things. He might be better than we thought. He's not better than he was lining up against. Saw that with A.J. Brown. Yeah, you got pieces in the secondary that are really good. Until you put them up against one of the 10 best receivers in the league, and they light you up like a Christmas tree.
Right.
That's just the thing. Is yes, you're competitive and you're good and you're spunky, and there are a lot of things to be encouraged about. I just don't know that you're actually good.
Mm-hmm. That's why you come in at number 18 this week on the power rankings. Number 17.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Woo.
Here's another one.
Your defense is good, and you can have splash plays that
Mm-hmm.
can win you games.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you're not very good. Your offense is terrible.
It is officially time, and I was late to this party. We've had people on our YouTube chat saying this for weeks. It is time to look at Jalen Warren as actually the better running back here, because he was part of the drive where you come back, and Najee Harris really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to wonder if Najee Harris is Trent Richardson 2.0.
It's bad. It is no good.
He's indecisive. He looks slow. He has to have a hole that you could drive a Ford F-150 through to get anywhere near the second level.
He does not have the spark that he used to, and it's just bad news. I mean, it happens to a lot of guys. You lose the spark that you had when you were in college, and you just can't make it in the NFL. I mean, and I think Najee's at that point. I think he can be a fine backup. He could be a fine spell back or a monster back for something, just somebody that you get in for the short yardage stuff. But other than that, I couldn't trust him. I would go with, Jalen Warren from here on out because.
And I think there's a possibility that you're going to see it. I didn't really think that was a possibility until after this week.
I still feel like, Kenny Pickett's not your answer.
He's not.
You ended up lucking into a win, basically. Right, George Pickens makes a great play and gets away from the defense, and there you go, there's the win. By the way, did you see Matt Canada's response to that?
Oh, where he was just sitting there like, boo.
Yep. Everybody in the booth celebrating, and Matt Canada just staring at it like, I don't care because we didn't score a lot today, and my job's in danger.
Matt Canada's a horrifically bad offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how bad the other coaches in that room are, but they would have to be particularly awful for him to still be the solution to anything.
All right, and lastly.
We have breaking news.
I love it right before.
Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news? Who's going to break the news?
All right, hit us, Flo.
We knew this was a possibility. We had talked about it earlier in the day. We have a trade in the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons have agreed to trade for Rams wide receiver Van Jefferson. It's a 2025 pick swap, 6th and 7th rounders. Hey, another receiver in Atlanta that Desmond Ridder can't hit unless he's playing against the Houston Texans.
That's fun, ain't it?
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that.
No, who cares?
I am encouraged by what I saw out of Ridder last week. But can you do that again? Marcus Mariota had games where I went, see, that's what I want. And then the next week, hey, when did we bring in Johnny Manziel? Because that was awful. So Atlanta is another interesting team for the next 4 weeks, and that's another piece. That's a guy that takes the top off the defense. I said that going into the season that I thought the Pitts-London thing, I love both prospects, but I'm not sure how you're supposed to take the top off because neither one of them are crazy fast. Pitts is fast for a tight end. He's not fast when you're playing him as a wide receiver. Van Jefferson, he does not have that problem. So that's an interesting, very low-risk, potentially high-reward deal for the Atlanta Falcons.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's got a parlay for tonight coming up next. The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with a new way to enjoy our beautiful planet. When exploring outdoor areas like local parks or a historic urban neighborhood this spring, be sure to recreate responsibly to protect yourself and the environment. Check the open status of a place before you visit, be respectful of others, and dispose of waste properly. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, Advanced Regenerative Medicine. This is amazing stuff. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
No better time for a parlay than a Coosa Tuesday. Conference USA and one Sunbelt game. In the first hour, I told you take Louisiana Tech plus 130, Jacksonville State plus the 215, and I'll go Appalachian State minus the 218. I don't love the idea of them winning this by more than a touchdown. I think they will, but I'm trying to be safe here after missing last night's by only Devontae Adams somehow not scoring a touchdown. So take those three, pair them together with under 58.5, Liberty at Jacksonville State, under 61.5, Coastal Carolina at Appalachian State. You put 5 on it, just like I am. That $5 wager turns into $194.28. Take those wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit match and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Low pressure with small chances of tropical development moving into the northern Gulf over the next few days, and some of that moisture here as it gets into the panhandle of South Georgia and South Carolina may try to work further north. And that means here we may see some showers. Better chance of rain south later in the week. Sun clouds today, 72. Tonight, 43. Little fog early tomorrow, otherwise cloudy, 71. And that chance of rain Thursday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, "I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple of years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye neti pot, hello Navage." End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Haywood EMC, your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, is powering a brighter future for our community by offering college scholarships, education grants, athletic camps, and much more. Serving the rural residents of Western North Carolina with affordable, reliable, safe services and open communications for over 80 years. Learn all of the ways Haywood EMC is working in the community at haywoodemc.com/community.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Power Rankings Tuesday continues here in the Ingalls Studio. We are heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat, get your thoughts in on the Power Rankings. Any breaking news that comes along as well. We had the breaking news just before the top of the hour there, before Jeremy gave you his latest set of bangers. Hopefully you're going to hit one of those parlays.
I almost had one last night if Devontae Adams scored a touchdown. Sorry.
Yeah, they couldn't get him involved, and
he got stopped like the 2, and I'm telling you right now, everybody in Woodfin went, "Oh, that guy's awake again." That guy's had a beer or two, because that was a lot of obscenities in a very short period of time.
Yeah, we've made it through half the league. We're at number 16 in the Week 6 Power Rankings today.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
They must have known they were coming. Hey, let's make a trade.
Last second win over the Houston Texans, 21-19. It doesn't really make me feel great about this team,
I hear a lot of people talk about how the Falcons are like they're snake oil or they're fool's gold or whatever the case may be. I'm not telling you you're wrong, because you know my philosophy on teams with mediocre quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I would tend to disagree. In the next 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the Falcons' schedule by any chance?
I'm looking at it right now.
Commanders, Buccaneers, Titans, Vikings, Cardinals, Saints, Jets. Buccaneers, Panthers, Colts, Bears, Saints. Oh, look, it goes all the way to the end. They don't play a team for the rest of the year that I know is any good. The Atlanta Falcons are going to make the playoffs. You may not like it, and it may not be appetizing to watch, but as time goes on, they're going to get Bijan Robinson more involved. They found a way to get Kyle Pitts and Drake London the ball, and I'm telling you, when that offense is getting those two the ball, it looks different.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is exponentially better than it was. Having vets like Calais Campbell and Jesse Bates, who I have harped on for months now, it's a big deal. I'm not telling you they're great, because they're not. I'm also telling you they will go 10-7 if they start drinking right now and don't stop till New Year's.
They could luck into 7 more wins.
No doubt.
Okay.
Well, I mean, just think about the bottom of the power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
You don't play the Broncos, but you play a slew of other teams that were on that last list, and a bunch more that were in the next one.
Sure.
So they're going to win a lot of games. They're going to win a lot of games, and if there's something to Desmond Ridder, I don't think there is, but that was a better game than I thought he'd have in the history of his career.
Right.
And if you can find something in that, then you got a shot.
My biggest word for them is maybe. Maybe you will. I mean, you've won, okay, you beat the Panthers to start out the season, then you had a last-second comeback against the Packers, last-second comeback against the Texans. Those are your 3 wins. You didn't stack up to the good teams on your schedule, but the good thing is those were the last good teams that you'll play.
Yeah. Good for you.
So, sure, you can finish out this season 8-9 wins.
Make the playoffs.
What does it mean?
Well, what it probably means is that you have to play the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs, and good luck with that.
Indeed. At number 15 this week,
the Cincinnati Bengals.
It's hard. It's hard to have them any higher than this, but it feels like it should.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you remember? You remember when they were dead and everybody just went, "Oh, Bengals, yeah, they're terrible." Well, Joe Burrow looked a lot like Joe Burrow, didn't he? I get that it was against the Cardinals. I'm not saying that was a good team he did it against. I'm just saying if that's the Joe Burrow you're gonna get, they ain't dead yet.
No. And I feel like most intelligent fans looked at that and went, we'll still give it time. We'll still give it a minute or two before we're ready to write the eulogy of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, they go Seahawks, 49ers, Bills next. And that's not going to be fun.
No, that was the other part of Cincinnati for me was, we're going to know reasonably soon because you play a lot of teams that you're going to have to steal some wins.
Mm-hmm. And
because if you don't, you just started too slow and your schedule's too tough.
Yeah. Nightmare scenario is you start out this season 2-6.
And then the season is over.
Right. And then you have no real shot.
No, because then you'd have to reel off 9 wins in a row to even have a shot in the AFC.
Yep.
And I don't see that happening.
No, you got 4 more games within your division that are going to be tough anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you got the Jaguars on the road, and you got the Chiefs on the road in that stretch. No, you go 2-6, you're not turning this thing around. It's not coming back to where it was.
But the encouraging part is that you saw old Joe and you saw old Jamar, and for once, you actually protected Joe Burrow.
Yep.
And if you continue to do that, then there's no reason to think that – I mean, this is a team that I had going to the Super Bowl. And I am slow to change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
You had to have that game against Arizona, and it showed.
I was going to say, you ready to back off that yet?
I'm going to let it breathe for another minute.
All right, fair enough. Number 14.
The New Orleans Saints.
Is this an overreaction? Is having them at 14 an overreaction to seeing them just pound the New England Patriots, who we now believe is one of the 3-4 worst teams in the NFL?
I would say so, except we had 15. We had them 15 last week, which is where they belong.
I guess the rest of this is just so bad.
That's the point. Is that they belong there because your bad is better than everybody else's bad, and your good is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the bad times, the Tampa Bay game, which I still, if you gave me all day, I'm not sure I could explain that. It wasn't New England Patriots bad. It wasn't even Pittsburgh Steelers bad, who are 3 spots behind them. Every team in the NFL outside of the top 10 has thrown a just dog water game.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe in New Orleans to a point. You've got to get Derek Carr right.
Yep.
And through 5 games, he's not right. But you also just won 34-0 with a Derek Carr that wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
So there are reasons to think. I mean, I'll just, frankly, reel off number 13 because 13 is kind of steers into something I want to talk about right here.
Number 13.
Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fire them cannons, by golly, but more better than cannons. I don't believe in any team in this division that much.
Mm-hmm.
One of you's going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Your schedules are all terrible, and Carolina's awful. So, I mean, I don't know where I'm supposed to put them. Do I think Tampa Bay is the 13th most talented team in the NFL? Good Lord, no. I would say they're closer to 23 than they are to 13.
I'd agree.
But you also have to look at, okay, I mean, you get a lot of dates with Minnesota and the Bears, which you've already had and you've already won. So you've shown you can beat the dregs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have to do much more than that to win this division. Because if you don't believe in Atlanta, you don't believe in New Orleans, you don't believe in Tampa Bay, well, guess what? One of them's making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Come absolute hell or high water, one of them will be in the playoffs. There is no way around that. So I just kind of stuck them together and broke them up with the Cincinnati Bengals.
And the Bucs are the Bucs are in worse shape than those other two that we just mentioned. The Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, because you have to play the division winners because you won it last year.
Yep. We got San Francisco on the road. You've got the Jacksonville Jaguars still on that schedule. You've got a date at the Buffalo Bills coming up in a couple of weeks, and you got to play the Detroit Lions this week. It's not going to be fun. This is going to be a race to the finish between 3 teams in this division.
Do you think it's 3 teams?
Yes. It's Tampa, it's New Orleans, it's Atlanta. They're all in just a mishmash together, and any one of them can win it at this point. I mean, I'm not trying to sound homer here or anything, but the Buccaneers obviously have the leg up to start with this thing, right?
What is the leg up? You play the toughest schedule, and you have the worst quarterback.
I'm saying so far in the season,
you got a game advantage.
You got the leg up.
You got a game advantage with a win over one of them. That's not really a leg up. Because they get you again, and you still got to play Atlanta twice, who you struggled with last year when they were god-awful, and you were, I think, the same exact team you are right now.
I think we're actually better now.
I don't.
That defense is way better.
I don't agree with you. I think you have played god-awful offenses. The Philadelphia Eagles showed just exactly how bad you actually are. The Detroit Lions are going to do it again. The Buffalo Bills will do it. The 49ers will do it. The only problem is that Jacksonville. The only problem is that if you keep beating the god-awful teams, then you're going to be competitive. I just don't think you're any good.
Yeah.
But when you play a schedule that is this horrific outside of the high side, you play 5 of the probably 8 best teams in the NFL. Outside of that, you don't play anybody in the top 20.
Nope.
Talent-wise. Because you get 6 in your division with 3 teams that aren't particularly all that great.
Right.
But Baker is going to be – I believe he's going to be uncovered a little bit this week, as will your defense. Ben Johnson is the definition of the play caller that Todd Bowles does not want to see because he is going to toy with you.
Right. Just what? Mixing up looks and stuff like that Bowles can't react to?
Yeah. It's all right, just look at the teams you've played. How many guys were you really worried about on any of those rosters? It was one, predominantly on all of them. Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Chris Olave. Yes, Michael Thomas has been fine. It was Alvin Kamara's first game back. When you play that just lay back and keep everything in front of you defense, it's real easy to do that when you're focused on one guy. You're not going to be focused on one guy against the Lions because they have Laporta and Amon-Ra and Jamison Williams you can put over the top, and you got to deal with Jahmyr Gibbs coming out of the backfield. I I honestly think the Lions are going to make what Philadelphia did to Tampa Bay look like a Tonka toy.
Okay. It's a lot of faith. A lot of faith.
It's not really faith. It's I watch your defense on film and go, that's not better than it was last year. It's just you hadn't played anybody any good.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be particularly good on defense when you're going up against, let me just think off the top of my head, KJ Osborne, Darnell Mooney, Rashid Shaheed. That requires a little less integrity in your zone assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Requires a lot more when you got Amon-Ra and guys like that. Now, if you can stay competitive with them, that might go a little ways. It's just I don't believe in that team.
All right. Number 12 in this week's power rankings.
Another team I don't believe in. The Los Angeles Chargers.
Nor should you believe
That's where you were last week. It's where you'll stay this week.
Mm-hmm. And you get the Dallas Cowboys this week. And I, for one, don't think that's going to go your way.
I don't know.
Because in the great scheme of things, I mean, I've heard all of the talk about taking J.C. Jackson away from this defense is going to make them better, which I don't disagree with.
Can't make them any worse.
That's a good point.
You could put a garbage can on the outside of that defense, and it would be better than anything J.C. Jackson ever gave you.
Mm-hmm. The bye week came at a good time for them to get a little healed up. It'll be a threat for the Dallas Cowboys defense again.
I feel like, to me, that should be a conversation probation game.
What's that?
Whoever loses, that's irrelevant.
I would agree with that.
Whoever loses this game is completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because I look at these two teams the exact same way. You have players on the defense with the Chargers. Mm-hmm. You have players on the offense with the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
You believe in the defense of the Cowboys. You believe in the offense of the Chargers. You don't believe in the coaching staff. That's both of them. They're the exact same team. I don't think they're a threat to anything until you get a better point man here, whether it's McCarthy or Brandon Staley. You're just going to be a really talented team that lets you down way too often.
Yep.
Which is, to me, is unfortunate for both of them because you've got the talent to be contenders. You don't have the leadership to be contenders.
Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Number 12, the Los Angeles Chargers. Coming up next, well, it's time to get into the AFC North a little bit deeper when we come back. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With White Haze, Mean Green, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
The Asheville Championship returns to Harrah's Cherokee Center in Asheville November 10th and 12th. This year's field is the best yet. The Clemson Tigers, Maryland Terrapins, Davidson Wildcats, and the Blazers of UAB. 4 exciting matchups with a champion to be crowned at one of the premier early season tournaments in college basketball. For more information and to get your tickets, go to AshevilleChampionship.com. That's AshevilleChampionship.com. It all starts in Asheville November 10th and 12th. Proudly sponsored by Ingalls Markets.
Have your outdoors and running water, too, with Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Loos are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew!
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLoosRental.com.
Wendy's new Pumpkin Spice Frosty is peak fall. It'll make any kind of fall fun even fallier. So no matter how you fall, grab a rich, creamy Pumpkin Spice Frosty from Wendy's today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
AutoStar family dealerships need your car today, and you can get cash today for a clean, late model vehicle. Listen, AutoStar is always paying more than the big box retailers, and they're paying it now. Deal with a real, local, trustworthy live person and get paid top dollar for your vehicle the day you arrive. Ain't no waiting weeks to get your check from AutoStar. Sell your car online right now at AutoStarUSA.com.
Buy your next car from an AutoStar.
Vehicle must have a title at hand, same 85 is 24 hours from valid seller's agreement. Checks will be issued for vehicles in equity only.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild, wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400 inside the Ingles studio. It's a Power Rankings Tuesday. Going into Week 6 in the NFL. Number 11.
The Cleveland Browns.
All right. What?
It's another team that was on a bye that stays in the same spot they were last week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to move anybody when they have an off week. How do you feel about the first 4 games of this team, and do they have any prayer at home against San Francisco this week?
Well, this has trap written all over it because you got Cleveland coming off a bye, San Francisco coming off an emotional win. That's a really good defense that's going to be able to play heads up with all those weapons for San Francisco. This is a game, to me, if Cleveland loses this, I'm going to be harder on them than I probably should be.
Okay.
Because you've had a week here. Deshaun's back to full health. He should be fine. You should be able to have figured out the run game after losing Nick Chubb, acclimating Kareem Hunt into the little role he's going to have. You should be able to come out and at the very least keep this game really close. This game should be super competitive.
Mm-hmm. Should be.
I don't know if it will be.
It should be
because I'm looking at those 2 tackles for Cleveland, just going, how do you have a prayer of dealing with Bosa and all of the things they're going to throw at you? By the way, you remember when Jedrick Wills had that really good rookie year, and I went, don't fall for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't wrong, not nary even a little bit. He's a guard. I hadn't had the chance to say that.
Has he been that bad?
There have been 6 tackles in the NFL statistically worse than him.
This season?
Yes.
Wow.
DeJuan Jones, who is a house with arms, has been better than him. He's a rookie house with arms.
Right.
That's one of the biggest problems is that Deshaun has no time. And you've got deep threat weapons. So, and I guess that's kind of what I'm saying with Stefanski is this is a time where you have had 2 weeks to game plan for a defense that does not have great corners. San Francisco is great in spite of some iffy cornerback play at times. You should be able to take advantage of that. Question is, will they?
And I don't think you will be. I think they are the most complete team in the NFL at this point. And and despite the fact that they don't have like stars out on the outside, they're still good.
They play good. They play very well.
Lenore, he's
that's not probably the one I would have used, but
they
play well within the system.
Yeah, he's fine. Javarius Ward, he can make plays every now and then.
This is every narrative you possibly want to use. West Coast team coming east, team coming off a bye, team coming off an emotional win. All of it steers to Cleveland should be able to cover the spread. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm going to be on Cleveland this week. almost no shot. I'm not unless the number that if the debut number stays what it is 5.5 right now. I'll be on Cleveland.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I will be on Cleveland.
Yeah. Number 10.
The Baltimore Ravens. Man, you really make my brain hurt.
Well, I mean, your offense is a problem. The dreams of Todd Monken coming in here and bringing you an offense that was going to make this look just so dynamic has not been there.
What's the problem with it?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Is it the
Aren't
fact
you,
that
aren't you sure you just don't want to say it?
I mean, is it the fact that you're putting Lamar Jackson in the pocket and almost demanding that he stay there?
Lamar Jackson's been fine. Lamar Jackson, of all the things that, at least from a in a vacuum standpoint, he's been fine.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that you're asking him to do something that he is not overly comfortable with, and it is super obvious. This is the Justin Fields thing. You're trying to keep him in the pocket. That's not who he is. You can give him all the weapons you want to. That's not who he is. You want to do this because you paid him all the money and you're trying to protect your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's not who he is. All right? If you don't really have to worry about him having these scripted runs, which it's still happening, it's just not happening at the same level. If you're not worried about that, then at the end of the day, you've basically neutered him from doing the number one thing that is why he is that highly paid.
Mm-hmm.
Odell Beckham has been irrelevant.
Yep.
Rashad Bateman is a bust.
Yep.
Zay Flowers is not.
Nope.
But it always seems like you're just a hair off. Zay Flowers should have had 2 deep touchdowns this week. What happened? Lamar Jackson, from inside the pocket, tries to step up and make that throw, and he overshot him both times.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what he does.
No. And what? And I still don't know what happened on that interception. The one at the end of the game.
He underthrew it. Straight up, he underthrew it.
I mean, okay. And sure, that's the technical explanation for it, but it looked like he didn't have a chance. Like, Odell didn't look like at any second he should have been the go-to on that play, and Lamar just threw it up in the corner hoping that it was going to land.
That's a back corner fade. That's all on the quarterback. You have to throw that where nobody but the receiver can get it because you don't really have another read. I didn't look at the rest of the play because I felt pretty sure from, I don't know, a tenth of a second into that play, I knew exactly where the ball was going.
Yeah.
I didn't look at what happened, if there was another read, if there was a check down, if the check down was for him to run.
Right.
I don't know. What I do know is you did the one thing right there that you absolutely cannot do, which is you short-armed that ball. You did not put it where the receiver could get it, and you did put it where the corner could get it. And you basically gave a rookie the easiest interception he will have in his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just – that play to me is Baltimore in a nutshell. I know you can beat anybody. I also know you can lose to anybody. And I don't know what to do with that. Your good is really good. But I'm going to say the same thing about John Harbaugh that I've said about a slew of other coaches. When you start getting beat because of mistakes in what made you a head coach, special teams in this instance, that really gives me pause for concern of this is what you're supposed to do better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw that block punt and I went, I don't know that I've ever seen Baltimore have a punt blocked before. I know Sam Koch didn't do it for a bajillion years. I don't know if Jordan Stout has. I don't think he has.
Yeah.
But it's just, it looks like the death by 1,000 paper cuts. Of when things go right, it's because you're very talented. When things go wrong, it's because a slew of little small things become a big thing and then you lose.
Mm-hmm.
That was a game to Pittsburgh you had no reason to lose. You had an over 85% win probability 2 separate times, and you still lost.
Yep.
To Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
I get that it's a rivalry. I get you throw the records out. I had Pittsburgh, and so did you.
Mm-hmm. I did.
But when you watch it, you look at it and go, man, that didn't make me feel good about Baltimore in any way.
No, it didn't. And you can think about it in the sense of we're 2 plays away, right? We're 2 plays away from theoretically being 5-0 right now, right? Justin Tucker hits that field goal against the Texans. Or the Colts, excuse me. He hits that field goal, you're solid, you know. But it's the culmination of 2 of them happening in the span of 3 weeks that makes me go, yeah, this is the problem. And coming up this week, you get the Tennessee Titans, who are not to be trifled with, right?
No, but this is a game where you should scatter, smother, and cover them.
You absolutely should.
Good teams win this game convincingly. I do.
Mm-hmm. You think they are?
I do.
You think no doubt this is a statement game?
I don't. What I was getting ready to say is that I feel like Baltimore has a safe floor because you do have that Cleveland Chargers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Saints tier behind them. I will find a way to drop them like a rock if they found a way to lose to the Titans. Because this is a game you cannot lose under any circumstances. And if you do, it will make me second-guess you exponentially more than this past week did.
Number 9.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Boo. That's
you want them to be higher, but they're not.
I want them to be higher.
They're not.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I this past week you ran into the best team in the league, and you got absolutely matered.
Mm-hmm.
And
they didn't look like they belonged on the field at any time.
It did not surprise me at all because
it surprised me a lot.
San Francisco, I've been a believer. Now, did I think we were going to have, 32-point win? Not necessarily. But San Francisco is one of those teams that you get out ahead, and I don't think, or I guess Dallas, I should say, is one of those teams that if you get behind like that, you can't come back. You can. You have the weapons, and maybe Dak Prescott gets lucky.
But that's the thing.
But
you're wanting them to be higher. But then in the same token, you're telling me that if they get behind, you have to get lucky to come back.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a top 8 team in this league. And they're just not. Good teams don't get beat like that. I don't give a damn who you're playing. You got annihilated.
Mm-hmm.
You never, for 1 second of that game, I knew within 5 snaps, I'm in trouble here. Because this looks like San Francisco's got their hair on fire, and it looks like Dallas was asleep until about 14 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't bother me so bad if it was just that in a vacuum, except I had just seen you do the exact same thing against the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have them this high. I really didn't.
That's crazy.
Okay, explain it to me. Tell me anything you have tangibly seen of the Dallas Cowboys that tells you they should be higher than this. Anything.
Well, I have seen this defense be really elite.
Awesome against the New York Jets and the New York Giants, who are both god-awful offensively.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. If you've got the best defensive player in the league and the secondary is supposed to be so good and you're this aggressive blitzing team, you should beat the smoke off the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And you should beat the smoke off the Jets.
Agreed.
You should have done it to the Cardinals, but you couldn't do it. You know why? Because you're the Dallas Cowboys and this is what you do. Because you have a mediocre coach that you gave a role because, Mike McCarthy, he's the guy, just like Chan Gailey, Barry Switzer, and Dave Campo were. Lather, rinse, repeat of the same thing they've been doing for 25 years.
Yep.
I told you, you get annihilated by the 49ers, I'm going to be harder on you because this is the probation theory all over again. I gave you a blip on the Cardinals of maybe you look past them, whatever you want to give me. You have now been physically dominated by the best team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And you lost to a team that doesn't have any players. But you have wins over the Patriots, the Giants, and the Jets. All 3 of those are in the bottom 10 of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Well, in the next 3 weeks, you got the Chargers, the Rams, and the Eagles. So you got a great chance to prove me wrong. And guess what? I don't think you're going to because I think you'll lose 2 of them.
Really?
At the Eagles, they'll annihilate you just like the 49ers just did. And you will lose one of those 2 LA games. You mark my words.
Okay.
Which one it is, I don't know. It is possible that you come out with a little us against the world and you beat the Chargers this week and then lose to the Rams next week.
Mm-hmm.
But that's at home. You're basically going to be at home at SoFi too. But I don't buy this team at all. I think you're completely irrelevant.
Okay. All right.
You'll make the playoffs. You might win a game, and then you're going to play one of those high-end teams, and they'll beat you like a kettle drum.
No chance that this team can get something back and get one against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Not for me.
No chance that they meet San Francisco again in the playoffs and figure something out.
32-point absolute annihilation. That's not a, hey, we got to figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in their ballpark. Now, could it be closer the second time? Sure. You get weather. You get all kinds of things. If the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers played 100 times, San Francisco win 98 of them. And I feel that way with the Lions, and I feel that way with the Eagles.
Okay. All right. Dallas Cowboys coming in at number 9 on the Week 6 power rankings after losing their second game in their last 3. Now, when you say it that way, I get why you're coming off of them. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville inside the top 8. Next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Low pressure with small chances of tropical development moving into the northern Gulf over the next few days, and some of that moisture here as it gets into the panhandle of South Georgia and South Carolina may try to work further north. And that means here we may see some showers. Better chance of rain south later in the week. Sun clouds today, 72. Tonight, 43. Little fog early tomorrow, otherwise cloudy, 71. And that chance of rain Thursday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Try Wendy's new Pumpkin Spice Frosty today. At Tyson Furniture, they have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. They're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit them at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there.
Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan.
The Beast
Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
We're back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It's a Power Rankings Tuesday. Taking a look at the NFL coming up on Week 6. Number 8 in the Power Rankings.
The Seattle Seahawks.
All right, the Sea Chickens
This is a team that really should be glad that there was a lot of belief in them because you haven't actually proven anything. You've played one good team. Yeah, you got the win there.
Mm-hmm.
And I give you credit for that. That's why you buoyed back to where you were. Your other 2 wins are over the Panthers and the Giants. There's only one more team down there that would be less impressive than the 2 you've already beaten. Now, coming off a bye, I do feel like very quickly you have a chance to impress because you play the Bengals, the Browns, and the Ravens the next 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's one of those that when I did the rankings this morning, I literally just put them back to where I started them. Because that's where I think mentally we should be with Seattle. You had one hiccup against the Rams, who appear to be better than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a pretty good win over the Lions in overtime on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all positive things. But still in the back of my head, I'm going, are you as good as I thought you were? And I just blipped to, all right, let's go right back to where we started. First 5 weeks were a layup. Now we really get to see who you are.
Yep.
Do you disagree with anything I just said?
I don't. Seattle is a fine team.
I think they're a very good team, but I haven't tangibly seen that as much as I would like to.
Right. Against the Bengals on the road this week, that could tell you something.
Mm-hmm. You beat the Bengals in Cincinnati, and now we're really back to the okay. You're a dark horse Super Bowl contender,
right?
Because I feel like you can beat anybody, but you kind of fall into that with the Cowboys and the Ravens. I'm not 100% sure that you can't lose to about anybody too.
Yeah, see,
especially
I don't know
high.
about that whole beat anybody thing. I mean, obviously they played well with the Detroit Lions and they hung in there and all of that, got the win in overtime. They have the offensive firepower.
Mm-hmm.
To be
Well,
able
that's
to
what I'm
hang
saying.
with teams, but I don't know.
San Francisco's best team in the league. They come to Seattle. You're telling me right now that you'd bet your house 49ers money line.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Now, in San Francisco, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But on the road, no.
Yeah, I would. I would take San Francisco, not think
You just
twice
think they're
about
going
it.
17-0.
No, not necessarily. But, I mean, in a head-to-head matchup, I'm not betting on Seattle.
Oh, I didn't say I'd bet on Seattle. I said I'm not betting my house on San Francisco. I said they could beat anybody, not they will. There are certain teams, the Carolina Panthers, you could play the San Francisco 49ers on the moon, and they have 12 players, and they will still beat you by 20 points. Seattle could beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
There are not a lot of teams that I feel that way about.
Yeah. I'm going to have to see a lot more from Seattle to be able to
I liked
get
them
there.
more coming in than you did, too. So.
Yes, you did. That is very true. And there's no way that I would have them ranked ahead of the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Which is comical to me.
Yeah.
It's comical to me. You've said that like 6 times in the last 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Not a chance.
After what you just watched from San Francisco, I don't understand how you keep defending that team. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
No, I mean, we saw the Miami Dolphins get spanked by the Buffalo Bills, too, and I'm not coming off of them.
That's the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, this is the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills, or the Miami Dolphins didn't lose to the damn Cardinals, who I think have 5 players that belong in the NFL.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you play
You're not
really
wrong about
tough, and
that.
you play tough, and you got all these little spunky upstarts. You spanked the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hold that against you for the rest of time.
Yep.
Dallas could come out in the next 4 weeks and win 217-0. I'm still not putting them in the top 5. I don't care because your bad will always be there.
Uh-huh.
And here would be the other part. How much better of a quarterback right now is Geno Smith than Dak Prescott? I'd say it's fractional.
Not much.
But he's better.
Yeah.
How much better of a coach is Pete Carroll than Mike McCarthy?
A bunch.
There you go.
A bunch.
End of message, repeat the line. I got a better coach, and to me, I've got a better quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I got better weapons. Okay, your defense is better. It didn't look better giving up 42 points, and I don't care who you gave it up to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you gave it up to a Pro Bowl team. Don't tell me how good your defense is when you just gave up 40. And they could have scored 70 if they didn't back off and put Sam Darnold out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to me, that's not – I hate that they're this close. I acquiesce to you on Dallas because I would have Baltimore and Cleveland ahead of Dallas.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's Seattle number 8, Jacksonville Jaguars number 7.
That is the number 7 team to me.
They're
super inconsistent.
They went 2-0 in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and I mean, I got to
awesome.
give you credit for beating Buffalo in a game that you really controlled the pace on for the vast majority of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was also a big gross fest for 3 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of people that, for some reason, are going back and finding old things that we said about Trevor Lawrence. Is that really the game you're walking away going, oh, Trevor. Oh, 100% Trevor. Okay.
Well, I mean,
I walked away from
it's
that
one
going.
game you can point to and go, he led his team to a victory, right?
He was technically the starting quarterback, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I walked away from that going, that defense was exponentially better than I expected it to be. Travis Etienne, have you a day? It took me 2 full commas to get to Trevor Lawrence before I went, oh, that's why you won that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he wasn't good, just if that's the high watermark for generational quarterback, I'm not really sure that you're not proving my point for me.
I mean, it is for now, right?
He was
all
good.
about building blocks.
He was good. He was fine. I've been confounded by how many people have felt the urge to go, see, you're stupid. Okay, go back and watch that Texans tape again and then tell me how stupid I am.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jacksonville. Seattle and Jacksonville are 2 teams I look at and go, I believed one thing on you coming in.
Mm-hmm.
You have done things that have made me question that. You have also done things that prove me right. So the only thing I can really do is drop you back right where you started and go, first 5 weeks, we're going to call that a wash. Let's start all over again and see what you do from here.
Yep.
And that's what I did with both of them. First power rankings of the year, Jacksonville Jaguars were 7, Seattle Seahawks were 8.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where they are again.
Okay. All right. Jacksonville coming in at number 7. All right. How about number 6?
The Detroit Lions.
They're good. They're good.
But you're not as high on them as I am.
I mean, I'm not. I'm just,
Which is weird.
Fine.
Because you were higher on them. I don't know if I convinced you to come off of them. I saw everything I needed to see, and now you haven't rebounded, which I don't get. What is the knock?
The knock on them?
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to go the same thing that you said about Dallas was you beat the Falcons, the Packers, and the Panthers. Now,
And
I
the
get
Chiefs.
Yeah.
And the Kansas
without
City
2 of their best players. I'll continue to say it. Like, I get it. It's good. I didn't expect you to win that game.
That's without a doubt the most annoying thing.
Well, I'm sorry it annoys you, but it's absolute facts. Okay? They won a 1-point game against a team playing out without 2
in their
of its
house
best
the
players.
night they hung a banner.
That's fine.
In the history of that Thursday night game, it's the second time it's ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you didn't play with your uniforms. I'm tired of hearing they didn't have Travis Kelce. They didn't have him for a half against the Vikings. That change anything? No, it didn't.
Mm-hmm. You think straight up right now that they would play that same game, same style again? It'd be a 1-point game between them and Kansas City.
I don't care. Have I said Kansas City yet? No. I didn't say they were better than Kansas City. I said that you beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You beat them and you made Pat Mahomes look average.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who play. I can't handle who. I can't control who you play. If Travis Kelce's not there, that's not my fault. The game's on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You had 2 full weeks to prep for me, and I beat you. Mm-hmm. That's enough for me. You got the best quarterback in the league. You're 2-time Super Bowl champion in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's good enough for me. I don't care who you play.
I'm not saying it's not impressive that they won the game. All I'm saying is the ones that you've absolutely handled, you should have.
Mm-hmm. I
don't know if this team's, top 5 category yet. A lot of people are putting them there.
I mean, based on what you just said, I could say the same thing about San Francisco. hey, you've beaten a bunch of cupcakes, and you beat the Dallas Cowboys without, oh, God, Leighton Vander Esch got hurt, and Trayvon Diggs wasn't there. And, I mean, it's the same premise of what you just said.
No, it's not. It's
You're
not
telling me
even
the
close.
defense is not different without Trayvon Diggs. Give me a break. A guy that wasn't on the roster was on Deebo Samuel for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me one matters all the ways in the world and the other doesn't, but it's maddeningly inconsistent.
Yeah. No, Travis Kelce and Chris Jones are much better than being without Leighton Vander Esch and
Never said they
Trayvon
weren't
Diggs.
better. Said it changed the defense. Fact or fiction?
Yeah. It did.
I'm just using the same thing you're saying to me against you, and you don't like it. Because it's the exact same premise.
Yeah, not even close with the type of talent that you're talking about. But that's neither here nor there. Detroit is a damn good team. Absolutely.
All right, I can't wrap my brain around this. Who behind them is supposed to be in front of them? Because you objected to this ranking with Detroit, and I cannot figure out for the life of me who's supposed to be in front of them.
I didn't object. You said it. Detroit's at 6, and I went, are they really? That was all I said.
All right.
Then you took exception to it, and okay, it's fine. I mean, we can agree that Detroit is good. And, yeah, okay, they're in that discussion of top 5 in the NFC.
Oh, they're cemented into top 5 in the NFC. I believe they're clearly the third best team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Because if we want to start talking about teams that haven't had players, I played Josh Reynolds as my outside receiver for 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have my best receiver last week. That's the reason that I hate that Travis Kelce argument.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that with every team every single week of the year. You line up your best 46 players on game day, period. And the Detroit Lions so far have been incredibly impressive to me.
All right.
I'm not sure I don't have them a spot too low.
Number 5?
The Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagons except for when you're in UK, apparently.
And that's the one where I got to and went, I don't know that I don't like the Lions better than the Bills. I don't know. I'm trying not to hold that London game against you, even though you looked awful.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna leave them at 5, but they are incredibly inconsistent. Their good is best team in the league, kind of good. Their bad is I don't know what you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like big, huge questions about Buffalo, or is it just me?
100% I do. Your consistency is maddening, or your lack of it is absolutely maddening. It's you're inside the top 5 best teams in the NFL, but you live on that edge, and you're going to continue to live on that edge because we ain't seen the last time Josh Allen throws away a game. We ain't seen the last time that somebody's going to get the better of this defense. It's just facts. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. One more quick break, and then we'll give you the top 4 for Week 6.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Summit Dental is accepting new patients. At Summit, they submit insurance on your behalf and provide you with estimates, so you have everything you need to make an informed treatment decision. They also work with Care Credit, and they're happy to help you apply. Care Credit helps you pay for out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. See why Summit Dental has so many 5-star reviews on Google. Book today at AshevilleSummitDental.com. In-house savings programs are also available. Book online at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
You know when you wake up and your mouth feels gross and you just can't wait to brush your teeth to get that clean, fresh feeling again? That's exactly how millions of Navage users feel when they use powered suction to rinse out their noses every day, just like brushing their teeth. Once you're able to breathe deeply without congestion, you never want to be without it. That's why so many people rave about Navage, with over 100,000 online reviews. Feel the Navage difference for yourself. In less than a minute a day, you'll feel immediate relief from seasonal allergies and congestion after the very first use. Navage will also help you sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier, naturally, without drugs. Start breathing clearly again with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Man, y'all are very sensitive about the Detroit Lions. Jeez.
No, they're really just sensitive that you still believe in the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, I guess that's what it is. Is that what it is?
Of which, at this point, you could tell me that you still believed in psychics or the Loch Ness Monster, and I'm not sure I wouldn't judge you more.
Anyhow, we're into the top 4 of the Week 6 power rankings. And number 4,
the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're really good. I still have issues with your secondary. You have proven to me that you can beat the mediocre teams. You struggle with Washington. I'm not ready to put you up there in the elitist of the elite because I do think you're a step behind San Francisco, but 4 is not a dig.
Mm-hmm.
You're still good, okay? Just before you come at me, because I know you're going to.
Yep.
You're still very good.
Yep.
All right, just number 4.
Yep. Number 3.
The Miami Dolphins.
Yep, you're still real damn fast, despite the fact that you don't have Devon Achane.
I don't care if you got a million guys that are insanely fast.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when everybody overreacted when the Dolphins got killed by the Bills?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have them lower than 3. You're killing teams. You just set the NFL record for most offensive scrimmage yards in the first 5 weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And barring no one gets hurt, you're going to break that record, and you may break it to where it is never, ever, ever touched.
Right. You're killing teams. You're killing the Patriots and the Broncos and the Giants.
I'm not saying you're killing good teams.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. How many times have you seen, I don't know, the Cardinals or any of these mediocre teams get beat by 30? The Dolphins have now done it 3 times, and one of them they beat by 50.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that team's real, real good.
Yes, they are.
And the challenges are coming.
Yep. Number 2.
Your Travis Kelce led best player in the NFL, Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right. Take him away, and they're dog water.
I can't have Miami ahead of Kansas City yet. I can't.
Nope.
I look at them every week and go, you really haven't done anything that's impressed me. But Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes just have a real good legacy of finding a way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to get better as time goes on. By the way, Trent McDuffie on Justin Jefferson. I tried to tell you.
Yep. But this is what they do. Every now and then they'll have a big blowout game against the team that they're supposed to blow out, but for the most part, it's going to be a 1-score game.
And that's the thing. They don't blow out teams. Historically, they don't.
Nope.
And that's the reason you're not number 1, because there is a team they do.
Yep, and it is
the San Francisco 49ers.
Best team in the league. It's not really close.
I don't think it's close. I don't.
No, they absolutely dismantled the Dallas Cowboys 42-10, And nobody's gonna go undefeated, but this team's gonna. They ain't gonna lose many.
They
ain't gonna lose many.
They're not going to lose many, but they're going to find a way to lose 2 or 3.
Yeah, it'll be 2, maybe 3. But for the most part, they're going to dominate everybody they play. They've just got it in all facets of the game.
They're very, very good. Now we'll see if Kyle Shanahan can win in the playoffs.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll be back with you tomorrow at noon, right here in the Ingles studio.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Low pressure with small chances of tropical development moving into the northern Gulf over the next few days, and some of that moisture here as it gets into the panhandle of South Georgia and South Carolina may try to work further north, and that means here we may see some showers. Better chance of rain south later in the week. Sun clouds today, 72. Tonight, 43. Little fog early tomorrow, otherwise cloudy, 71. And that chance of rain Thursday afternoon. From the Weather Channel, Ray Stajic.
The future of joint pain relief is here. It's QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. This is amazing stuff. If you've been told more steroids or surgery are your only options, don't be so fast. Get a second opinion and learn more about how you can harness your body's own healing agents to attack that joint pain. I'm talking lasting relief. QC Kinetics doesn't mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem using concentrated healing properties placed directly in your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue. Imagine living your life this fall with no more pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call the local medical professionals and get a free consultation today. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regeneration.